Welcome back to my Roblox Iceberg Explained series. Firstly, I want to apologize for how long it has taken to make this part. It's mostly because I had to rewrite all of the entries as the quality of my writing wasn't the best, and I kept doing smaller revisions to the video and the document to make it as good as possible. I hope the length of this tier makes up for the long wait. Last time I covered the first tier of my Roblox Iceberg, where I talked about some well-known users, memes, creepypastas and other Roblox trivia. If you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, you can find it in the playlist linked in the description. Now I'm going to be covering the second tier, which is almost twice as big as the first tier. I've even added a few new entries to it as well since the release of the first tier. Because of the massive size of this tier, I've got my friend Draco to help me out with voicing almost half of the entries. And before you ask, no, I don't mean Draco Swordmaster. Huge thanks to him for lending his help, because otherwise this video would have taken even longer to release. Along with this video, the document has been updated to include the second tier, which you can find in the description as well. Once again, if there are any mistakes or you have additional information for any of the entries, please leave it in the comments. Without further ado, I hope you enjoyed the second tier of my Roblox Iceberg Explained series. Tier 2 Shallow Waters. If you've been on the platform for a few years now, you have likely come across these entries. Circle Studs Lawsuit. Roblox originally had Circle Studs from 2006 until 2009. In early 2009, they were changed to square studs and their design was later updated to the one we know today. However, it's said that they were changed due to a lawsuit from LEGO since LEGO bricks have circle studs. This doesn't seem to be the case since there never was a lawsuit in the first place. The original LEGO brick band expired a long time ago, however the design of the bricks is protected by a band, which may still explain the change. Furthermore, LEGO actually had two events with Roblox, with the third that was cancelled, years after the studs changed, which would make it unlikely that a lawsuit ever happened, as it wouldn't make much sense for the companies to work together after that. Roblox is greedy. This phrase has been circulating for a long time, but the use of it has picked up traction sometime after the tickets removal. Due to the removal of tickets, you can't get Robux easily anymore without buying it, making a successful game, or selling clothing. The reasons for removing tickets were already said in the intro discussing it, but what probably gets people riled up as well is that Roblox didn't follow up with their promise of free items and clothing for those who don't want to pay. Roblox does indeed give out free items through events and rarely promo codes. However, most people probably expected free items to be released alongside them. Only as recently as 2020 up until now have they been frequently making free bundles and hair, though they are usually more suited towards Arthro. Even before tickets were removed, Roblox got a ton of backlash due to various other things. This included the 90% marketplace fee on Robux earned from game passes and developer products if you didn't have Builders Club and later Premium, which they thankfully lowered to 30% on April 2nd of 2020. People also complained about Builders Club, like how it was heavily advertised and how most features required you to have it. Probably the biggest change that the community was angry about was the price floor update that they announced on September 24th of 2013. Initially, you could sell t-shirts, shirts and pants for as low as 1 Robux and 1 ticket. After the price floor update, this was raised to 25 Robux and 300 tickets for shirts and pants, and 10 Robux and 120 tickets for t-shirts. Roblox staff listed 3 reasons for these changes: raising the quality of items, rewarding makers and sellers of clothing, and incentivizing non-paying users to buy Robux. They also state that this will limit people who copy clothing, as they won't be able to sell it below the original price. Players protested this change by leaving the site, cancelling their Builders Club membership and making groups and t-shirts against it. Roblox released a follow-up blog post 2 days later saying that the price floors were a way to reward makers of clothing, which helped as they gained 3 times as much, and to increase the flow of Robux into the community. In this blog post, they also teased the developer exchange program, allowing developers to convert their Robux into money, which was released on October 1st of 2013. On October 3rd of 2013, the price floors were lowered to 10 Robux and 100 tickets for shirts and pants, and 2 Robux and 20 tickets for t-shirts. People heavily protested against these price floors as well, especially in the first half of 2014, though they weren't successful in changing them this time. After the removal of tickets, the price floor for shirts and pants was lowered to 5 Robux. Reporting does nothing. This is another phrase that also started to circulate in 2017, which started with users experimenting with whether or not the moderators read reports. People usually think that there are bots that read them, as there have been many cases of false reports getting players banned, but also players not getting banned even though the report was truthful. It was found out that the moderation team is outsourced to a third-party company, supposedly iEnergizer, and these moderators work on other websites as well. The reporting system is not perfect, but saying that it does nothing is a lie. It takes time until a moderator gets to a report and they can choose whether to ban the offending user or let them be, based on the report you have written and what was reported in the first place. But even though that's the case, there have been times where truthful reports haven't been acted upon. Forum raids and quackity raids. Briefly mentioned in the Roblox forums entry, forum raids were a large group of people spamming the forums with threads that usually repeated the same phrase. These raids were done with the intent to be annoying or cause disruptions to the website. They were performed by users of the subforums by themselves, between communities of the subforums, known as forum wars, or by a group of people unrelated to the forums. The most infamous forum raids are the ones done by Quackity, a popular YouTuber and Twitch streamer. On May 1st of 2017, Quackity wanted to raid Roblox during a stream, so he settled on raiding the forums, specifically the subforum All Things Roblox because the moderators were strict on it. He and his viewers participated in this, and while trying to post a thread, he got a 3-day ban, which prompted Quackity to ask his viewers to spam threads about unbanning him. Some of Quackity's viewers were giving him permission to access their accounts, but because Roblox staff was watching the stream, they could easily figure out what account he was using and terminate or ban it. He got IP banned and then found out that his account got terminated. They also censored the word Quackity and his username. The Roblox servers likely couldn't handle the large amount of people spamming threads, resulting in Roblox shutting down for a few hours. Quackity then went after their Twitter but got banned on Twitch shortly after. After Roblox went back up, they set up a filter where your account had to be at least 2 years old to post on the forums. The filter was removed after a day, and Roblox added a capture system to posting threads. Quackity conducted another raid a month later, which went very much the same way. His viewers even raided the unofficial Roblox subreddit without Quackity saying anything about it. Roblox at first enforced the same 2-year filter, but then it was changed to 13 years, which restricted everyone from posting on the forums. This limit was removed after a day as well. They also deleted a person's game dedicated to Quackity. People were rightfully angry at Quackity for doing these raids, as they only served as a hindrance to the community and the staff. To this day, Quackity is still censored on Roblox.
Name sniping. Name sniping is the act of making a new account just for the sole purpose of taking a special username. People usually snipe words from the dictionary, phrases, or they try to go for the shortest username possible. 3 other usernames, for example, though these have all been claimed, as well as nearly all 4 and 5 other usernames. There are groups dedicated to name sniping, with one of the most popular being Name Snipes Awakening, which had around 124,000 members before it got locked on July 28, 2020. The group was revived as Name Snipes Forever, which is almost as popular as the previous group. The group also has various ranks depending on how rare your username is, ranging from the number of characters to user ID snipes, reset usernames, and usernames that are almost impossible to get nowadays. The group also hosts a game that can generate untaken usernames for you. Team Cool Kid. Team Cool Kid was an exploiting group established by none other than Cool Kid, an infamous exploiter who joined Roblox on November 2nd, 2013. He was active around 2014, which is when the group was created. Chances are, you've seen the picture on screen as a skybox, or plastered all over parts in certain games around that time. As an exploiting group, they perform many raids and exploits on servers, whether by members of the group or Cool Kid himself. Cool Kid also created the Cool GUI, an exploiting program that he and his members used. In the middle of 2016, however, Cool Kid, his main account 007 and 7, and the Team Cool Kid group were all banned. This caused the group to branch off into several separate groups, and ownership of Team Cool Kid was passed down to several people, with the current owner being ADHD Yoshi. On November 8th, 2018, ADHD Yoshi officially quit and shut down Team Cool Kid. However, later, in 2019, the exploited group returned under a new group named Team Cool Kid 2. with ADHD Yoshi being the owner again. The group is still active to this day. The Zara Larsson incident. Zara Larsson is a popular Swedish singer who had a virtual concert event on Roblox named the Zara Larsson Dance Party. It was used to promote the summer edition of her album, Poster Girl. The game for the event was open on May 18, 2021, and had activities players could do before the concert actually started. During the pre-show, Zara was talking with some players for the global chat system, meaning her chat was visible to everyone who was playing the game at the time. When asked a question, Sarah casually said fuck twice, after which she apologized and stated that she didn't know her messages weren't filtered. This shocked some people, and others started pointing out inconsistencies regarding Roblox moderation. This incident overshadowed the event, and Zero later poked fun at the incident by making a tweet and replying to a TikTok comment about it. PewDiePie blacklisted. On February 10th, 2019, PewDiePie decided to livestream himself playing Roblox during the time he was in the subscriber war against T-Series. Everything was going relatively well until after the livestream ended, as his Roblox starter place got to the front page, making the Roblox admins terminate his account, likely due to suspicions of botting. It is unknown whether it was actually botted or not, or his game just simply got flooded by fans, but nevertheless, it caused Roblox staff to be suspicious. This caused an uproar in the Roblox community and PewDiePie's fanbase, and PewDiePie later made a video after the incident, in which he dedicated a section to his Roblox termination. He showed tweets of people being outraged at Roblox's decision, and some of them also said that he did nothing wrong during the livestream. Along with the tweets, he also showed a death form post from January of 2019 by Nest of Dragons, an ex-Roblox staff member, which says that he's not permitted on Roblox due to the inappropriate and unsafe content on his YouTube channel. The death form post can't really be found anymore, though others have confirmed that it was real at one point. Roblox themselves later clarified the entire situation in another death form post, stating that the use of PewDie became a negative meme in their view, and because of this, they didn't want people to use it in their usernames. They then stated that PewDiePie's account was incorrectly banned, and that his account was being reinstated. His account was unbanned on February 14th. Even after he was unbanned, people continued to criticize his staff for blacklisting the phrase PewDie, and warning users who mentioned his name. A few days after the incident, multiple mainstream media outlets published articles about it, and the phrase was later removed from the blacklist.
Kim Kardashian lawsuit. In the first episode of the reality TV series The Kardashians, which premiered on April 14th of 2022, Kim Kardashian's 6-year-old son, Saint West, finds a game on Roblox that features Kim's crying face. The description of the game claimed to have unreleased footage from her 2007 sex tape. This obviously upset Kim, so she ended up calling Kanye West, her ex-husband, to inform him about what happened. She then threatened Roblox by declaring, "I have all the time, all the money and all of the resources to burn them all to the fucking ground." Despite her threats, she never sued Roblox. Roblox did end up banning the user who created the game, and they also stated that the tape was never available on the platform. People have also speculated that this was all made up for publicity, though apparently the game did exist. It featured a church in which you could find a tape in a glass container, along with other insignificant things scattered around the map. 2012 April Fool's Incident. The 2012 April Fool's incident is the most infamous quote-unquote hacking incident of Roblox. Although it's widely referred to as a hack, it was more of a breach, as it involved getting into a moderator's account. On April 1st of 2012, the moderator's stealth pilot, a famous Roblox user, had his email breached by an unknown person who pretended to be the user Leaf. They then reset his password and gave other people access to the account so that they could use the admin panel. This resulted in several accounts being compromised, most notably Draco Swordmaster, who people thought was behind the incident, Minish, who was a popular user terminated in 2009 brought back for this occasion, and even the Roblox account itself, which was apparently compromised by the user McNoobster. The person behind Draco Swordmaster, likely Austin5555, unbanned Minish, and then used the account to pose as her. They then made a thread where they said that they'd buy a domino crown. Merely offered his domino crown for 8 million Robux, but he eventually put it up for 12 million Robux. They bought it, causing the forums to erupt with discussions about what happened. Both Merely and the person posing as Minish gave out millions of Robux to other users before they both got terminated. Merely later got reinstated but threatened to quit if there wasn't a rollback, as he thought the whole situation was a joke and regretted giving away the hat. He got it back on April 3rd after the site was rolled back. During all of this, McNoobster and the others wreaked havoc on the website. They changed the prices of most hats to 1 Robux, renamed some, and uploaded unreleased hats. 2 faces were released as well, the better one being the C: face. It was sold for 100 Robux, but apparently only Stickmaster Luke was able to buy it, as everyone else got an error. It's assumed that his account also got compromised or the face was forcefully equipped on his character. The second face, which is less known, is Hi Guys Derp. It's unknown how much Robux it was sold for or if it was even sold at all. They also gave several users limited items, Robux and ticks, like OneDev2 as was mentioned in his entry. Not only that, but they frequently use others' accounts to post on the forums. This includes the moderators ReesMcBlocks and Crow, whose accounts were likely used to edit their old forum posts to replace them with inappropriate content. The users Feedy and Art17 were both compromised and given moderator status, after which the accounts interacted with others on the forums. Even the Roblox account was used at one point. Along with this, a notification banner was added to the top of the website that displayed questionable content and referenced users such as Dignity, Minish, Jared Valdez, Lost Twins, Rush Hour 3, and McNoobster. After all this happened, the Roblox staff took the site down and started fixing everything. The catalog and currency trading systems were unavailable until April 2nd. Later that day, they released a blog post where they stated that a small number of transactions that happened at that time were rolled back. Some of the uploaded items were updated with new pricing and some were removed. The C: face was changed to the Dr. Smith face and was available for purchase for a short time. Most of the people involved in the incident, whether they were innocent or otherwise, were terminated or banned as a result. Despite all of that information, it's claimed that the users Elernate, iTrapped, and Caleb244 were the main culprits behind the incident, but there's no proof that's the case. It's more likely that people are mixing up another incident like this that happened a month later in early May of 2012, where they got access to the admin panel through the account Iltalume. A video from April 30th of 2012 corroborates this, as it shows Twister, Ellernate's friend, using the account and going to various pages of the admin panel while chatting with Ellernate. The video was later taken down and found sometime in late 2019, after which was re-uploaded numerous times and mistakenly attributed to the 2012 April Fool's incident. It's said that there was a 30-minute version of this video, but it's unknown if it ever existed, although what seems to be Ellernate's alternate account states something about a 30-minute video regarding the admin panel. It's theorized that they got into the admin's account by making an account with the admin's username on a testing site, where they copied the browser cookie storing the account's information and used it on the main site. Forced chat vulnerability. On July 17th and 18th of 2022, there were numerous reports of players being terminated or banned upon joining a game. The game was called Crossroads, created by a throwaway account named Client Error. It was sent to unsuspecting Roblox streamers and players as bait in hopes of terminating their accounts. It basically disguises itself as a normal game, but when waiting for the loading to finish, the player is then kicked with the Discord invite as the message. Going on any Roblox page after this shows that they were banned or terminated, often due to child endangerment. The game abused the vulnerability with the way the chat works using scripts, allowing anyone to force others to send messages into the chat. In the Crossroads game, you couldn't even see this happen as the chat disappeared alongside the GUI. The thing is, Roblox knew that this could be used maliciously as they inserted comments acknowledging this into what was used for the vulnerability. To get them banned or terminated, the game also had a script that abused the reporting feature to spam report the targeted player. The situation blew up very quickly and everyone started talking about it. In fear of this happening to them, players themselves started disabling the setting that allowed them to use the chat. Players also thought the admin command model calls admin infinite was sending players to the Crossroads game, but the creator behind the model, script or call, came out to say that this is not the case and it's likely malicious copies of the model doing that. Others joined the Discord server advertised in the kick message, where they figured out that a group called DWC was behind the game. The group consists of the users Syntax, Agent, and Bungie, with Syntax being the one who created the Grassroots game. Soon after, the game was locked down by Syntax and the client error account was terminated shortly after. They then started getting IP banned while Roblox moderators infiltrated their Discord server. A member of the Roblox developer relations then replied to someone on the dev forums saying that a short-term fix is going to be released and a long-term fix is on the way. Roblox support also started unbanning players if they provided evidence of the vulnerability being used against them. Syntax then released a statement where he hopes that Roblox will take this as a general wake-up call and as evidence of how many flaws their platform has, how bad their moderation is, and how ignorant they are, as this vulnerability was already disclosed to them a year prior, with it potentially existing since 2016. Agent then went on a rant boiling down to how slow Roblox is to patch exploits that have been known to the public for years. Winds of Fjords. Winds of Fjords is a song uploaded on November 19th of 2001 by Minimus, a Finnish musician. He uploaded it to the Mod Archive, a website for sharing music modules created using music tracker software. The song uses samples from another song called Voyage to Eternity by Big Jim, who was a huge inspiration to Minimus. Years later, Shidletsky uploaded the song to Roblox on April 15th of 2007, and he later used it in his game Sword Fights on the Heights. It would also later be used in Danger Team 112's game Built to Survive the Zombies. After this, it saw widespread use by the community and it became one of the most iconic songs of classic Roblox. The song is sometimes incorrectly referred to as Telemon's Sword, likely coming from people combining those two words from the name Telemon's Sword Fights on the Heights. That name has been circulating since at least 2008. Minimus himself remastered Winds of Fjords on April 1st of 2022 under his music collaboration called Soft Knees. According to Minimus himself, Roblox never contacted him about using the song and he never got paid for its use. He then decided to start taking down re-uploads of the song in order to direct traffic to Soft Knees and the remastered version of the song, which he now wants people to license. He even created an epic edit of it for the YouTuber JBug on July 27th of 2023. The Great Strategy. The Great Strategy is a song that was also uploaded to the Mod Archive on February 23rd of 2005 by Badliz. Like Winds of Fjords, Shidletsky also uploaded the song to Roblox on September 26th of 2008. However, it was already used from 2006 to 2008 in Roblox's early trailers. It quickly became an iconic classic Roblox song as well. Similarly to Minimus, Badliz was never asked for permission and he didn't know about it being used in Roblox until 2015. Due to the song's popularity, Badliz has made several different versions of the Great Strategy since then, like the Great Strategy 2 and 3, and even made a cover of Winds of Fjords. He later made a remake of the song that stays true to the original. Admin. Admin was one of the first users on Roblox. Going off of the Roblox forum member list from June 20th of 2006, the account could have joined as late as June 30th of 2004. His profile shows his join date as February 27th of 2006 due to database changes. It said that he's the first actual user on Roblox, but people only think that because of the aforementioned member list, where he's listed as first. The player page for ID1 from that same day on June 20th of 2006 shows that it belonged to David Bazuki, not admin. The reason for that was that Roblox used different databases for the forums and player profiles, so the user order isn't the same between the two because they weren't related to each other. Going by player profiles, this means that admin is actually the 18th user, not the first. Nevertheless, admin was supposedly used to test login functionality, the place publishing system, and was terminated to test moderation, though there's no evidence of these claims. Admin panel. Like every other big platform, Roblox uses an admin panel to handle moderation and other things. They can also view the information of every Roblox player, which includes some personal information, moderation history, transactions, and trades. The admin panel is only accessible by moderators and administrators. However, there have been many times when parts of the admin panel leaked online, like images and the link to it. Probably the most infamous incident regarding the admin panel happened in May of 2020 when a hacker phished a Roblox mod and gained access to the admin panel. The hacker could see the information of every user, as well as change passwords, remove two-factor authentication, ban users, and more. The hacker shared screenshots with Vice, although only one has been shared in the article. The most interesting thing from the picture is the red banner that says, "This user is a protected user," and the fact that the user could be a star creator because they were likely granted 3 years of Builders Club in 2018, and the only known way to get this is to be a star creator. It also brings up favoritism since it's likely they are getting moderated less. Afterwards, Green Lego Cats 123 was able to get in contact with the hacker, who provided more information and extra videos and pictures of the admin panel. The hacker informed him that Roblox dropped the company that outsourced their moderators and fired all of them, that the protected user status is for top developers, star creators, and those who have tons of limiteds, and that there have been several data breaches that Roblox didn't tell anyone about, save for one. He also mentioned that you could freely log into anyone's account, see transactions and the amount of Robux anyone has. A lot of the old admin panel can also be seen in the video mentioned in the 2012 April Fool's incident entry. A pretty funny incident happened on March 17th of 2009, when Roblox accidentally gave everyone access to the admin panel for at least an hour. It's unknown how exactly this happened, though there were some new updates at the time which might have been the cause. Due to this, many famous users such as Zuka, Flaskierta and Virodeo were unbanned, while the admins were getting banned themselves. This was immediately patched, and Roblox started reverting whatever was caused by this accident. It's possible to find archives of player pages from that day that have the admin panel.
Bypass library items. Bypasses, as the name might suggest, are library items that bypass the Roblox moderation, allowing people to upload inappropriate models, audio, or decals. The most common bypass items are decals, as many methods have been used to hide inappropriate content in them. Although some are less obvious, such as removing color or layering another image on top of another, some of them slip through the moderation without any edits. This also applies to clothing, like with the method where you make a separate t-shirt and a shirt for a word, and then wear both of them at the same time to make it look like you have fuck or something on your avatar. For bypass models, people usually hide the inappropriate content in a simple box, mainly so the thumbnail isn't reported. It's only common to find them if you directly search for them. Bypass audios are most commonly found in games with boomboxes or any music player enabled, though it's less likely to encounter them after the March 2022 audio update. For example, the most common game where you can find bypass audio is in the streets, as the people playing there often play such audio. They usually start with, "This audio was created by blank," and then the creator's name, and then play loud, obnoxious rap with swearing in it. Somehow, those who make these bypass audio are so populated that it warranted an article in the New York Times. Bypass chat messages. Like with the previous entry, you can also bypass the child filter to swear or say profanity in general. These bypasses are usually found on trial and error and brute force. There were quite a lot of them years ago, but since the chat filter has way improved since, none of them work anymore and it's much harder to bypass it. The most common way to bypass swearing, for example, was to replace letters with similar looking letters or symbols. Fake death forum posts. There have been a few times where fake death forum posts are spread around the Roblox community, causing people to fall for them. For example, there was a death forum post claiming that R6 would be removed entirely, meaning that everyone would be using R15 from that point on. Another example is a death forum post claiming that every user under 18 years old would be terminated on March 20th, 2018, which doesn't make too much sense at all. And while some of these may seem convincing at first, a common tactic to make these fake forum posts is to simply just use inspect element to change the text of an already existing death forum post, or to just straight up fake information. There was also an incident involving the developer Zyleak, who got his account breached, resulting in a death forum post that stated that Murder Mystery 2 would be closing down due to issues with the Saudi Arabian laws. Of course, this was a lie perpetrated by the person who breached his account. r/GoCommitDie. r/GoCommitDie is a subreddit dedicated to cursed Roblox images, where people post funny and sometimes offensive Roblox memes. The subreddit was created on June 3rd, 2018, and has become popular since, sitting at over 600,000 members. The subreddit has popularized a ton of Roblox memes, such as Despacito Spider and its offshoots, Do or Have a Stupid, the classic death sound, and others. Despacito Spider. Despacito Spider is a meme popularized in 2018, featuring a big head and a bigger head in a pill-shaped format, with spider legs saying Despacito. It was originally known as the Big Head Pill due to a tutorial video from October 8th, 2017, on how to make it in the game Roblox in high school. The game has a very extensive avatar editor, where you can make all sorts of crazy outfits, and the Despacito Spider is one of the more popular ones that came out of it. The earliest picture of the Despacito spider is from January 1st, 2018 on Imager, an image sharing website. After that, it spread like wildfire, being sent to a few Roblox subreddits like r/GoCommitDie, which sparked a ton of similar images, and people even created art of it, and many used the outfit in Roblox in high school as well. The creators of the game also acknowledged the meme, changing the icon of the game to Despacito Spider at one point. Even Roblox themselves have acknowledged it as well, as in the 2020 egg hunt, there was an egg called Despacito Egg, and the game it was found in was, of course, Roblox in high school. There are also two toy code items, Hanging Despacito Spider and Despacito Spider Button, along with a few UGC accessories based on the meme. There's also a Despacito Spider toy in a Roblox Toys meme pack. Robux. Robux is a fictional currency that became a meme through GIFs that were shared on various Discord servers. The name is a parody of Roblox's currency, Robux. The word Robux originates from a friend group on Discord that first used it on June 27, 2020. They later spammed it in other Discord servers, after which it caught on with others instantly. In July, many GIFs referencing Robux were created in Call Me Carson's Discord server, which popularized the meme even further. Many videos referencing the meme have also gained millions of views. Baller. Baller is a boss and playable character from the Roblox game Boss Fighting Stages Rebirth. As you can tell from his name, he utilizes dodgeballs as his weapons. On September 22nd, 2022, the Roblox user Paper Kitty tweeted out a video parodying the Stop Posting About Among Us video, which replaced Among Us with Baller instead.
Stop posting about Baller. I'm tired of seeing it. My friends on TikTok send me Baller. On Discord it's fucking Baller.
The video was reposted to TikTok, where it gained millions of views. Baller then skyrocketed into popularity, becoming a meme, with tons of fan art and animations featuring him being created since, some of which have gotten millions of views as well. This culminated with a picture of Baller being taped to a sign at the Roblox HQ by the user JZoid, albeit for a short while. Abandoned 2007 games. There are thousands of games from that area of Roblox that nobody really visits or updates anymore. And you can find a lot of them and still visit these places yourself, but you probably won't find anything more than abandoned and forgotten builds that were created over a decade and a half ago. It's possible that some of these were popular back in the day, but people stopped playing them likely due to the lack of updates by the game creator or other games just being more fun.
Place Roulette. Place Roulette is a game created on December 31st of 2013 by Rudimentality, who now focuses on the game Bad Business. Its premise is simple. You step into a room and pull a lever that attempts to teleport you to a completely random place on Roblox. This means that the places can vary from unchanged start places to actual full-on games or showcases. It can be fun and addicting to keep teleporting to random places, as you may find hidden gems or places you can screw around in with your friends. Millions of people have played the game since, including Roblox YouTubers like Remainings, who made several videos explaining places found through the game. Others have also created their own versions of the game, like Super Place Roulette, which has multiple teleports for different genres and surpassed the original in visits, Roulette Saloon, which has a very well built lobby to accompany teleports to places, and Roblox Relics, that has tons of other features, such as buying hats for ticks that you get from visiting places to customize your in-game character with, a player profile system, and much more, all laid out in a slick, modern GUI. If you're bored out of your mind and don't know what to play on Roblox, then this is a perfect way to get entertained, in my opinion. Mugen. Mugen is a Roblox group that focuses on surrealistic games. It has a rich history, with its first mention starting in May of 2014, when a username Mugen followed by 15 sixes made a game that used an invisible Unicode symbol to make it have no name. The game itself wasn't interesting, as Roblox supposedly crashed after 10 seconds, but made a few weird library items appear in your recently played games. A few days later, Mugen's account was terminated and the game was put under review. A month later, Mugen likely returned under the account no entry 666 with the place no entry, which was brought to the front page. The only thing in the game was 666 in red text, with the entire screen being black. The game would then teleport you to the Tempest by Sverju de Nole, which made people start speculating that Mugen is related to Nole. No entry's profile is still accessible to this day, which is surprising because people usually get terminated for botting their games. On April 25th of 2015, the first Mugen group was created. It was owned by Alakazard Dresmore, the former owner of Mugen, who was an explorer on the accounts Alakazard and Dresmore. After the creation of the group, the forums were spammed with Mugen-related games at random times, which crashed your client with the message Alakazard is the immortal. On January 6th of 2016, a memorial game for Mugen was created. The description of the game gives a bit of history and praises Mugen for his game. According to a forum post made 2 days later by Guy from Boston, the first Mugen group was dedicated to remembering Mugen by mass advertising places that cause memory leaks. He also announced that the group got logged by Roblox moderators. This was likely done due to a raid on the forums around January 3rd and 4th of 2016, where numerous accounts under the group spammed Mugen's name. A month later, they would come back and start spamming users with messages, using the helpful letter as a base, which Roblox sent if they noticed that you are venting out your real-life struggles. Instead of linking websites to helpful resources, they were replaced with Mugen-related games, which usually ended with crashes and screamers. Sometime in 2017, a new main group was created by Alakazar Dresmore, spelled backwards. They then started to message even more people with at least 3 games being linked. However, as time passed, the games either closed down or changed completely. In March of 2017, the Mugen member XIJQL released the game Vesterchic, which is one of the most popular Mugen games of all time. There were other games as well, such as Smoked Hiking Hat and It's Beautiful, before it got turned into Grasslands with Bologna Spice, and then Mano Meat Solutions Plant 1. An official Discord server was created around 2018 to 2019, which has teasers for new games and updates. This group didn't last a long time, since on November 15th of 2018, a new group was established that is still being used to this day. Around this time, Alakazard left Mugen and appointed Boston as the new owner. Due to drama surrounding Mugen and another group, Mugen was on a hiatus until they returned in August of 2020. New games were released after the return, such as The Lobby, a game where you can jump into paintings Super Mario 64 style to play other Mugen games. Mugen's goal around this time was to spread itself across Roblox, as there are many attempts to advertise the group through advertisement t-shirts and a teleporter to the lobby. Some games have added this teleporter, leading to a short influx of new players. Since then, Mugen has been in tons of drama with several people, though some of it has been settled. Vermilion.net. Vermilion is a gaming and programming forum created sometime in 2013 to 2014. It's mostly a place for Roblox hackers and exploiters where they share Roblox exploits, sell Roblox accounts, and do other things like that. Around October 24th of 2023, it was announced that the website would be shutting down and the domain would be up for sale. The domain was eventually sold for over $17,000 to the owners of the Roblox gambling site Bloxflip, who remade the website under the domain verm.net. However, due to how short notice it was, none of the posts on the original forum were archived nor were they brought over to the new forum, meaning a lot of information that was only on the original website is gone. Paid exploits. It was already mentioned that the website VRDevs hosts a variety of free Roblox exploiting programs, but there's also a large amount of exploiting programs that you can pay for. These usually cost around $20 or more, depending on how many features it has. The most well-known paid exploit was Synapse X before they partnered with Roblox to increase the security of the platform. On the other hand, many paid exploits were also proven to be malicious, such as DX9ware, whose owner leaked IP addresses of buyers, Sir Hurt, created by a pedophile that mishandled private and sensitive user information, and Proto Smasher, which was used to log Discord tokens to get into users' accounts. Game copying. This can refer to stealing an entire Roblox game and passing it off as your own without creating the original creator, or stealing ideas from a Roblox game and using it in your own game. The former often happens when the game is uncopylogged or when an exploiter steals the game through exploits, although without server-sided scripts due to filtering enabled. Users who copy games usually do so to get Robux from unsuspecting players who don't know that the game is copied. The most notorious examples of these users are Jared Valdez and Julius Cole, who's talked about in the next entry. Julius Cole. Julius Cole was an infamous Roblox developer who was known for stealing places and publishing them as his own, similar to Jared Valdez. He joined Roblox on February 26 of 2010 on the account Julius5005, which was terminated due to Julius apparently creating inappropriate games, although he says he never did so. He then created the accounts Julius Calls and Julius Calls V2, where he did most of his copying. Like Jared Valdez, Julius copied 1dev2's Welcome to the Town of Robloxia game and published it as Town of Robloxia. He then added an extra adjective, which he changed from time to time in order to lure in players who might think it's a different game. He also re-uploaded tons of free models created by other people and claimed them as his own. In the description of his games, he added messages where he credits himself as the sole creator of the entire game. On his YouTube channel, he created several controversial videos, which consisted of swearing at his haters, mocking the Roblox community, saying that Eric Castle deserved to die, and sending death threats to Roblox staff. He also promoted Brick Planet, a Roblox competitor, along with saying that Roblox sucks. Around 2016 to 2017, he deleted most of his hate videos and claimed that he changed, but that wasn't true as he uploaded several other hate videos in 2019. At one point, Julius returned to Roblox and claimed that he was going to abide by the Roblox terms of use. He then proceeded to make Roblox gameplay videos, but he went back to his normal self after he started claiming that Roblox admins were constantly stalking him because his accounts kept getting terminated. Nowadays, he keeps making a lot of videos about Flamingo and makes rants about Roblox YouTubers that are full of false information. However, he has said that all of the videos are done for publicity and that he doesn't have any problems with them.
Tremedy. Tremedy was a Roblox game developer who joined Roblox on August 29, 2013. He is most notable for creating the game Adopt and Raise a Cute Kid, which received over 300 million visits. The game was notorious for being a bait and switch place that used tons of free models and was full of online daters, likely due to what the game was about. The game's description was also filled with unrelated tags that only served to boost the game in search results, and it also led to the creation of hundreds of similar games. The game was deleted on December 7, 2017, along with Tremedy's account being terminated. His alternate account, Games page, where he created a life in paradise and all the rap battles, was also terminated. Tremedy emailed Roblox support and asked for more clarification, as the moderation note didn't say anything too specific. Roblox support gave him different answers. Initially that he created a fishing place, and then that he was caught trading items for real life money and illicitly obtaining Robux. Tremedy posted these emails on his Twitter, which also later got suspended, and he also created a video about the situation. Around July of 2018, Tremedy returned to Roblox on the account RipTremedy0, where he re-uploaded the game under a new group. He made another video about returning to Roblox at the same time, though this account was terminated shortly after the video was uploaded. He has since returned to the account RipTremedy04, which is currently inactive. He re-uploaded the game under his account, but it was later repurposed into Club Apathy. Cow Cow. Cow Cow Man Man Fingit, or just Cow Cow for short, was an alternate account used by the Roblox YouTuber GreenLogoCats123. It was primarily used for his trolling videos from 2014 until its termination on July 31st, 2017. The account is the origin of the phrase "Hail Cow Cow" that his fans created and later spammed all over the place. The account was terminated for exploiting, although GreenLogoCats123 claimed that he never exploited on the account. However, before the termination, he collaborated with the Roblox exploiting YouTuber named Typical Modders on a video where GreenLogoCats123 got admin commands and games from him. GreenLogoCats123 later speculated that Alex Neutron, the creator of Meep City, was involved in the termination, as he was making many videos about how Meep City was promoting online dating, and how Alex Neutron wasn't really doing anything about it. Many people believe that Alex Neutron did play a part in the termination, however this has never been confirmed. Raku. Raku is a Roblox player who joined on July 24, 2011. He is well known for winning the Dominus Venari, the one-of-a-kind grand prize from the Ready Player One event, which was a promotion for the movie of the same name. The event was intended to be extremely challenging, and instead of being a regular event, you had to use clues to help you to figure out in which Roblox games the copper, jade, and crystal keys were located in, and then do more puzzles in those games to obtain them. As stated earlier, the grand prize was the Dominus Venari, which only one person could attain, while everyone else would get the golden wings of Pathfinder. To get the grand prize, you had to have all 3 of the keys and figure out the last game, in which you had to finish an obby and then do a short quiz. However, at the time of the release, the quiz was broken, and nobody could obtain the grand prize. A fix for it was quickly released without any announcement, and Raku was among the first to join a fixed server and finish the obby and quiz fast enough to get a grand prize. This made a huge amount of people angry, both of the event developers and Raku. Their servers weren't shut down after the fix was released, so the majority of people were stuck with the broken version. After people learned of Raku obtaining the grand prize, many hate accounts on Roblox popped up. Some people even sent him death threats, and some claimed to have doxed Raku and leaked his personal information on the accounts. This was debunked by Raku himself, as he was never doxed, though Raku's account was later banned for 3 days since someone was sending fake receipts to customer service to get into his account. The Roblox admin, Jay Party, then made a statement on Reddit detailing some of the behind the scenes during the time the event was broken, and how he also believed that the winner of the event was the real winner. Many people disagreed with him and thought that it was unfair. Raku did still keep the dominance though, and the harassment eventually ceased. He now builds and develops on Roblox for games with millions of visits, and he was even commissioned by popular Roblox groups. SimBuilder. SimBuilder, known in real life as Mikhail Oslin, was a Roblox developer who joined on September 19, 2008. He is mostly well known for his game Vehicle Simulator, which has amassed over 600 million visits. He is also the brother of the Amaze Man, another Roblox developer well known for his games such as Roblox Titanic Classic, Survive the End of Classic Roblox, and Cube Simulator. SimBuilder also uses stream on Twitch quite often, usually developing Vehicle Simulator and whatnot. However, he also had a slew of bizarre streams where he showcased the game Seed Simulator, also calling it Life Simulator. It features mostly random colored blocks labeled random words, sporadically placed around a map. Nobody knows what any of it means, though they most likely wanted to incorporate it into Vehicle Simulator. Every stream of the game has been deleted since, and it doesn't seem that there are any re-uploads, though images of it can be found on his Twitter. He also did some awful stuff, like falsely reporting the developer's script on that he still works for him on his credit report, even though he hasn't worked for him in 3 years. He also got exposed by Artemis the Deer, a former developer of Vehicle Simulator, for being anti-vax, that he took drugs like weed, shrooms, DMT, and ayahuasca, and that he threatened to report Artemis to the authorities, and gaslit him and withheld past due wages as a form of extortion. On September 9th, 2023, a day after the 2023 RDC conference began, SimBuilder arrived at the building where it was happening, and he then tried to get into the conference without a verifying wristband, and then supposedly pushed a security guard, after which he was tackled by other security guards and was promptly arrested. He was then charged with having an unattended concealed firearm in his vehicle and possession of a large capacity magazine with armor-piercing ammunition. This shocked a lot of people, and many were glad the situation didn't turn out worse. And 10 days later, on September 19th, Roblox terminated his account.
Banland. Banland is a fictional place where terminated Roblox users go. The most popular Banland game dates back to 2010, created by MZH3000. The game has a dark atmosphere and features terminated users such as Dignity, Minish, 1x1x1x1, and Jared Valdez 2. There was also a shooter game from 2016 that took place in Banland, with your goal being to get out of there alive. It seems that Banland became popular on the forums around December 20th of 2008. Based on various forum posts from around this time, many people are role-playing that they go into Banland while being banned and meeting players such as Flesk Jerta and Virodo. This led to people creating the earliest known games of Banland, one dating back to August 26 of 2008, another to October 29th of 2008, and another to November 24th of 2008. All of the games are unfortunately unplayable and aren't uncopylogged, and 2 of them have been overwritten since. Outlines. On July 11th of 2013, a visual change was implemented that added outlines to every part, which was done to contribute to Roblox's aesthetic at the time. While they were added in good faith, the community didn't like them as they didn't fit in with every build and were slightly costly on the performance side of things. After community feedback, an option to turn them off was added on August 13th, along with a new surface type called Smooth No Outlines, which removed outlines on a specific part. On June 12th of 2019, it was announced that outlines will become deprecated on July 1st. A new option called Legacy Outlines was added that allowed you to enable them, but on May 19th of 2020, they were removed completely. Player Points. Player Points are a discontinued scoring system designed for competition and fun. They were implemented as a beta feature on April 15th of 2014 and later reset and fully released in late September of 2014. Players could earn them by doing certain things in games set by game developers who could get them through players spending Robux on their games. They would then redistribute the player points through their games. The amount of player points you acquired was visible on your player profile. In the following weeks, individual game and global leaderboards for player points were implemented on the website, which ranked you depending on how many of them you've earned. Along with them, an additional feature for groups called clans was released. Clans allowed only 100 group members to collect clan points, a clan version of player points, together to rise to the top of the leaderboards. With the full release of player points, there was now an unlimited supply of them, as players no longer had to buy stuff from developers for them to award player points to players. This change caused the removal of global leaderboards for player points. Player points were also easily abused, as there wasn't a limit on when you could award them. This led to the creation of games where you could buy tons of player points or get them for free by doing nothing. Roblox eventually had to disallow these types of games, as they went against what player points were made for. On June 4th of 2018, individual game leaderboards for player points were removed because they presented issues that prevented the Roblox staff from continuing support for them. A few months later, on January 23rd of 2019, clans were also removed, essentially removing the need for player points. Despite that, player points could still have been awarded, and you could even view the amount you had through an API. However, on June 30th of 2023, this API and the point servers were retired, completely removing player points for good. Builders Club exclusive items. Before Builders Club was replaced with Roblox Premium, some select items in the catalog were purchasable only by Builders Club users. Later on, even Turbo Builders Club and Outrageous Builders Club had their own exclusive items. Users with higher Builders Club tiers could purchase items for lower Builders Club tiers as well. Even after the player's Builders Club subscription ended, they would still get to keep the items. Nowadays, some catalog items have a premium symbol next to them, though this means that the items can be purchased with a discount if you have premium.
BC only places. On December 30th, 2010, Roblox released an update that gave Builders Club members the ability to only allow other Builders Club members into their games. Doing so added a BC label to the game's thumbnail and placed it in a special section for BC only games at the top of the game's page. The game owner also got 2 ticks per visit instead of 1 ticket, but this was later increased to 10 ticks, and game developers usually created a separate non-Builders Club version of their games if they made a BC only version. Immediately after the update was announced on the Roblox blog, the forum thread made for the update was bombarded with thousands of people against it, and even those who were in Builders Club hated this change. And some, like Sickmaster Luke, even created NBC-only games that restricted Builders Club members from joining. And despite a majority of the player base hating this update, this feature stayed for almost 7 years. In early June of 2015, the games page was redesigned, which led to the BC-only game section being removed, causing a significant decrease in BC-only games. And 2 years later, on October 30th, 2017, it was announced that this feature would be removed, which was then eventually done on June 6, 2018. One of the reasons this change was done was so developers could gain and retain more users and earn more revenue. Rental items. Rental items were catalog items that expired after a set amount of time, usually after 1 week, 2 weeks, or 4 weeks. After the item expired, it couldn't be equipped unless the player renewed it. This was initially only used for gears, but other catalog items like packages and hats eventually had this capability as well. They were introduced on June 3rd, 2009, and were completely removed sometime in March of 2021. Some sponsored rental items were later turned into participation trophy items. Hidden gears. There are 2 hidden gears which are obtainable only if you have other gears in your inventory while in-game. After the script checks that you have all the required gears, the gears combine into 1 hidden gear. The first is the Epic Katana, which requires 6 colored katana gears. The Epic Katana is black and has purple and white sparkles coming out of it. When you lunge with it, you get a huge speed boost and do a lot of damage. The other hidden gear that you can get is the All-Season Sword, which requires the 4 seasonal swords. It gives you higher walk speed, faster healing, and has 2 special abilities, such as freezing enemies and draining health in a radius. There's also the Rainbow Paression Omega, but this one doesn't combine any gears, as it only checks the other Paressions in your inventory to make it a stronger gear. Horror music. This isn't exactly a music track because it's just 4 pitch-shifted sounds being played in a random combination that comes from a script that was spread throughout Roblox. The script is used in many classic Roblox horror games, and 3 of the sounds are sampled from a different sound that can be found on freesound.org, called creepyguitarshortdelay.wav by DJ Fizz. Roblox used this sound and spliced it into 3 different parts, titled Halloween 1, 2, and 3. And the 4th sound is called Halloween Ghost.wav, which was found through Find Sounds, where it's being listed as being from the website Dreamland Magic Spooky Songs under the name Groaning. As mentioned earlier, these 4 sounds were used in the script that randomly selected one of them every 10 seconds, pitch shifted it, and played it. 2 of them were pitch shifted even further, for a total of 6 different sounds to be chosen. The creator of the script is a user uploader, who uploaded it on August 6, 2009 under the name Spook Sounds. Hat dropping. Hat dropping was a feature that allowed you to drop your worn hats using the equals key. On January 9th, 2017, the feature was removed, and a dev forum post that announced the removal states that not many games use this feature, as it was only available for PC, and it created a problem with games that didn't clean up dropped hats. During this time, Roblox also increased the limit of wearable accessories to 10, which would have even created more dropped hats littered around games. This feature can be preserved by adding a script written in the dev forum post.
Roblox name formatting change. According to someone on the dev forums, the formatting of the Roblox name was changed around the time the 2017 logo was revealed. Instead of it being Roblox with full capitalization, it's now Roblox with only the first letter being capitalized. Another thing of note is the use of an O with a macron in the old logo, which indicates how to pronounce the name, as some might say it as Roblox instead of Roblox. Password guessing. Password guessing is an account hijacking method that's done by acquiring passwords from database breaches and tying them on Roblox accounts in hopes of getting into them. If successful, the hijacker will usually steal the account's Robux and limit it. Password guessed or otherwise hijacked accounts are typically referred to as compromised. The main target of these hijacks are usually popular users, accounts that joined before 2012, or even users with special user IDs or usernames. Rare usernames. Some rare usernames were mentioned in the names typing entry, such as 3 or 4 letter usernames, but there are other, rarer usernames than that. As stated in the content deleted entry from Tier 1, usernames that violated the terms of service were changed to content deleted followed by a number, only if the account's owner didn't provide an alternate username. Later on, the usernames were changed to a reset followed by a number, after which they were changed 2 more times. There are also accounts with their usernames being account deleted followed by a number, but those accounts are completely deleted and inaccessible. Someone's username was even changed to content deleted 0, leading to the account getting terminated. It's unknown how this happened, but it has been like that since at least May of 2012, and it seems to have been terminated in 2016 to 2017. Even more strangely, an account was reset to this, not only featuring the regular content deleted username, but there are dashes where spaces are supposed to be, alongside an extra space at the end. It's unknown how this happened either, and the account has been terminated since. There are also accounts with the username account forgotten followed by the user ID, which is likely done through the Roblox support form, where you can specify right to be forgotten. This causes the accounts to be inaccessible and changes their name, similar to the account deleted usernames. This was mainly done for Lobu accounts, as mentioned in its entry in Tier 1. Moving on to hashtags and usernames, a game developer named SimCityVG, known for Dynamic Flight Simulator, is one of 3 known people to have had a hashtag in their username. Considering it has reset the username, Roblox probably reset his username, though they used a different format. The second person created their account on April 9th of 2012, with their username being #1stunna, not only having a hashtag but also a space. The username was later likely changed by moderators to #1stunna before being terminated. This was found through the place under the account, as its name has the username before it was changed. The place wasn't updated either, meaning it wasn't renamed to change the username. The third person created their account on August 30th of 2014 with this username. Instead of the username being changed, the account was terminated. It was possible to have more than 20 characters in your username. Some of these are Roblox tester profiles and were related to the Xbox release of Roblox. When Roblox released on iOS devices in 2011, the maximum character amount was accidentally left at 50 characters instead of 20. This bug was leaked onto the forums and then eventually patched. When the account Sirloin was created, it had a username consisting of 64 characters, though 57 of them were spaces. On the Roblox website, this was condensed to a single space, but the remainder of them can be viewed through the source code of the website. His username was changed by an admin sometime in May of 2007. There are only 8 usernames on Roblox with dots in them. The most well known, of course, is David Bazuki and Eric Castle. The other 6 are Predator John 123, Yukin, Footlonger, Mr. Dog, Mr. Cool Roblox Player 101, and Mime2121, which has 2 dots and an underscore. Back in 2006, it was possible to have more than 2 underscores in your username, before they were restricted from being used until they were brought back in 2016, to with a maximum of 1 underscore. There were accounts in 2019 that resurfaced that had more than 1 underscore, along with them being at the start and the end, something which is impossible either. Some of these accounts have since been terminated. Also in 2006, it was possible to use spaces in usernames. This ability was later removed and never brought back. Quite a few accounts with spaces in their usernames exist, but most of them are inactive. An interesting case was with the account Roblox Alpha Test, which was hijacked on January 29th of 2021 and later terminated. Another interesting case is the account Son of Compavalanche. Compavalanche was a well-known moderator in 2010, meaning it's likely that this was his son who wanted a special username. The username originally had zeros instead of spaces before it was changed, which was found through the place under the account. The account seems to have been compromised in 2023 and terminated on April 10th of 2024. For the Xbox One release of Roblox, a launch trailer was uploaded featuring gameplay from games that were available with the release. Because of that, several weird usernames can be seen, usually in the format of to, def, and followed by a number. Despite some of these not existing anymore, 4 of them can be found, though they are terminated. There are multiple accounts that manage to get an invalid character into their username. The most popular instance is Master, whose entire username consists of letters from the Cyrillic alphabet. His account was created on August 18th of 2006, but they probably didn't have a username filter set up. Apparently, he didn't get terminated because of his username, but because people bought his followers to 1 million. Similarly, another person got his username changed to PreSliderGuy123, where the first E is actually the Cyrillic letter Ye. He got this username by emailing Roblox support, posing as a parent of his non-existing son, who put his real name as his username and asking them to change it to the requested username, which surprisingly worked. Other people use this same trick to get other usernames like this. There was also the account Mile4000, which simply has an E with 2 dots. This account's username was reset. Another account had the letter Nu from the Greek alphabet, which is the V in the username. And like with the previous account, the username was reset. And lastly, another account had the Cyrillic letter O. It's unknown how these last 3 accounts were created, though it's possible that there was either a website bug that somebody abused, or they used the same method as PreSliderGuy123. There was an account called Blobman, with a hyphen in the middle, who unknowingly got his username from Roblox support. As the owner of the account said in Toasted Cherries' video, he initially put his full name and birth year as his username. His dad eventually found out, prompting him to send an email to Roblox support about it. Roblox support gave a list of 3 usernames, one of which was Blobman, which he picked. This username only lasted for 6 days, as Roblox support sent an email to apologize for the username change, as they can't include any special characters. There are other accounts with hyphens as well, such as Builderguy, Super Sylveon, and That Boy. It was mentioned already that the usernames of Lubu accounts were all changed to account forgotten, with some apparently glitched out, causing them to change into a string of numbers and letters with hyphens in the middle of them. Of course, there are usernames with swear words in them. There's not much to say about these, it's just Roblox's filtering going faulty. Probably the most well-known username with inappropriate content in it is AssBeater420, who became a meme on r/GoCommitDie. After he became popular, Roblox terminated his account. There are users that have their username the same as their user ID. They likely use bots to get such a name, but since some of them are from the early days of Roblox, it was easier to guess the newest user ID. These usernames were made even rarer in 2018 as Roblox disallowed usernames with only numbers in them. In December of 2016, there was a website bug that allowed people to create accounts with any username. It was mostly abused for quote-unquote 2-letter usernames and ones that copied other people's usernames. Almost every account created with this method was either terminated or reset. Although the usernames looked like they were copies of an already existing username, the exploit utilized the invisible symbol for a line break. This is why they were quote-unquote 2-letter usernames. They had 2 actual letters and then the line break symbol. On March 24th of 2022, Roblox accidentally disabled the filter for usernames, allowing even more obscene usernames to be created. Roblox started resetting the usernames of these accounts, but instead of using reset followed by a number, they used a completely different format, which is Roblox_user_ followed by the user ID. In turn, they've made hundreds of usernames with 2 underscores. However, most of these accounts are terminated. Backdoors. Backdoors allow people to bypass security and execute unwanted code or gain access to restricted information. These aren't exclusive to just Roblox, but they are pretty widespread there. On Roblox, these backdoors usually allow unwanted people full access to your games, or they make a purchase prompt appear every few minutes. They are most commonly found in free models, which is why you should always check the scripts of any free model you use. These scripts usually hide the backdoors under obfuscated code that makes it harder for a person to read. To combat this, Roblox even implemented some features to tell you that the free models might be malicious. Another place where you can find backdoors is plugins that are disguised as their real counterparts. These feature the same obfuscated code in some of their scripts. Some of these fake plugins go as far as to even make the creator's name look legit, although they are just group names. Nimbles. Nimbles, known in real life as Austin Reuschle, was a popular Roblox developer who created games like Egg, which was featured in Egg Hunt 2020, Wait for 4 hours to leave a room, and being a developer for the game Snow Day. On May 26 of 2020, a friend of theirs posted on Twitter that Nimbles passed away on May 17th at the young age of 21. The cause of death was initially requested by Nibbles' family to remain private, but Nibbles' Twitter account sent out a scheduled tweet linking to a hidden GitHub gist named goodnight.rbxl, which was their suicide note. The gist was later taken down by GitHub, likely for violating the GitHub TOS due to its nature. Minish. Minish was a well-known Roblox developer, forumer, and brick baller. She won the Winter Wonderland contest and received a red banded top hat for her game Shrine of the Fallen Hero. She was a troll on the forums, mainly on the subforum Roblox Talk, from the summer of 2008 until her termination in April of 2009. According to Minish herself, her account was terminated due to her parents cancelling her Builders Club. Minish owned the account Diana, a stolen admin account from 2005 which can be proven from the About section of the account back in 2015. As said before, during the 2012 April Fool's incident, Minish's account was unbanned and used to purchase the Domino crown from Mirrorly for 12 million Robux. The account was terminated again after this, and the supposed ban was posted on Reddit. Interestingly, the moderation note reads, "Stop now." After the termination, accounts like Dr. Pandemonium popped up, claiming that they were Minish. Although this was apparently supported by Maelstronomer, a popular Roblox developer, on Twitter, no such tweet exists and there's no proof that Minish is behind the account. There are also claims that Minish passed away due to suicide on April 3rd of 2017, according to a Roblox game, but this has been debunked several times already. It's unknown where Minish is currently, though she probably doesn't want to be associated with Roblox anymore.
Zuka. Zuka was a Roblox user who joined on November 2nd, 2007. He was known for being a talented scripter and builder, and he helped with scripting for Builderman's game, King of the Hill, and was friends with Shedletsky and Minish. He later got a reputation for being toxic, since he was getting into arguments on the forums, which supposedly led to his termination in mid-2009. It is also believed he got terminated due to inappropriate content in one of his games. Zuka had several alternate accounts, all of which are lying dormant today. In a forum post made by a former intern and administrator, CyrilXBAADF00D, he casually mentions that he was Zuka. To prove this, he logged into 2 alternate accounts, NVI and A2DA, which both have threads that mention them being Zuka. NVI has the most evidence out of the two, as one thread has a reply from one of his friends, Fallen Eagle, who was featured in the game Zuka's House on the original account. The other thread has them list a bunch of other threads that mention NVI being Zuka around a week after the NVI account was created, along with leaking the password to the Zuka account. ZeroX's internship eventually ended, and he switched to the account Mr. Smelly Man, where he created a game, Welcome to Farmtown, which has garnered almost 42 million visits. Fenobi. Fenobi was an old Roblox survival that was active from 2017 to 2021. If you don't know what a Roblox survival is, they are websites that use and modify old Roblox clients from 2007 to 2016 to make them work in modern days. They usually have functioning multiplayer, a catalog system, character customization, forums, and much, much more. Fenobi was one of the biggest revivals and overshadowed others due to its popularity. It was created by Raymond, who also created Nobilium, one of the first old Roblox revivals which he used for the creation of Fenobi. Although you could create an account normally at one point, they later switched to an invite key system, where you could send an invite key to someone so that they could create an account. And many other revival projects has used this system since then. This community was known for being toxic, and apparently there were vulnerabilities in all of their clients, although they were all fixed at some point. Some people even had problems playing at all since the clients just wouldn't launch for them. But however, on May 19th, 2021, the official Fenobi Twitter account tweeted out that Fenobi had been taken down due to a cease and desist from Roblox, and the Fenobi website was changed to reflect this. People believed that the cease and desist was fake, causing many people to speculate. And around October or November of 2021, the Fenobi site was updated with an actual farewell note. Raymond clarifies a bit more about the cease and desist letter, boiling it down to a single line of, "Do not use or distribute any Roblox content, including anything derived from the Roblox code, like binaries directly from Roblox, or we will not hesitate to sue," which seems to have come from the letter that he received. He also says that he cannot release the letter, and that only a few select people in their old Roblox community can have a picture of it, and he trusts them not to release it. RBX Legacy and Novatus. RBX Legacy is a launcher for Roblox's clients from 2006 to 2013, which you can use to play offline, online, or free LAN. It was created by BitL around October of 2016 and was released on GameJolt. The launcher has 7 clients to choose from, along with an old version of Roblox Studio and a wide variety of games. And on October 26, 2018, the final update was released. And BitL goes in depth in his farewell message, stating that he stopped development on RBX Legacy because of drama and personal problems between the developers, resulting in a rushed update. However, after a small update a day later, BitL wanted to create RBX Legacy 2.0, an entirely new and separate project from RBX Legacy. This new project became Novatus, which has gotten a lot of new features and enhancements since then, like a much better launcher, wider client support, better character customization, enhanced 3D avatar preview, reach support, and much, much more. Graphictoria. Graphictoria is another old Roblox survival created by Ixion, formerly known as Energy Cell. It first started in March of 2016 after Ixion apparently had left RBLX dev, but it didn't last long as Ixion was sent a DMCA takedown from Roblox, although it was actually a fake one sent by a Nobilium member. It came back sometime later in 2016, becoming a success. It had clients from 2008 to 2011 and had a fully functioning website with games, forums, and other features. This iteration was shut down due to another fake DMCA takedown, and Graphictoria then came back on January 9th, 2017 with replaced assets such as the Geon's doesn't set the R, a different default smile, spawn location image, and camera control buttons. Graphictoria was taken down and brought back up again numerous times after this, and in early 2021, Ixion decided to bring back Graphictoria again, but eventually gave ownership of it to XLXI. XLXI rebranded Graphictoria as VirtueBrick, where it is actively being worked on at the time of voicing this entry.
Energy Cell. As stated in the previous entry, Energy Cell, now known as Ixion, was the owner of Graphictoria. According to a documentary video created by Fenobi members in 2017, Energy Cell was a terrible individual who has done a lot of things, some of which I'll be going over in this entry. However, there is still speculation whether or not the claims in the documentary are true or false, with most of it leads to the claims being false with supposed evidence having unsubstantiated or outright false information. Either way, take the rest of this entry with a grain of salt. One of the first things he apparently did was report RBLX Dev, the first old Roblox revival, as a phishing website, causing it to get shut down in December of 2015. Energy Cell took what he learned from RBLX Dev to use at Graphictoria. After RBLX Dev was brought back as Nobilium, Energy Cell constantly threatened them with DDoS attacks and the like. He later leaked Raymond's and his staff team's IP addresses from his database. However, in the comments of the documentary, Energy Cell himself claims that this is false. Unfortunately, his comments are lost as the Wayback Machine doesn't properly save YouTube comments. He stated that they created a fake database and edited a screenshot to pretend that it came from him. Along with this, a Graphictoria moderator known as Epic Rika resigned, which was followed by their account being unbanned and their email leaked on their profile. There's also a picture from the Graphictoria Discord server of a channel named External Services, which shows Energy Cell sending a former moderator's email and IP address to ban them after their Graphic account was terminated for swearing, which wasn't against the rules at the time. Energy Cell claims that he did this to ban people from the Graphic Reddit page and the fandom wiki, since you apparently needed both the email and IP address to do so. The channel was also only visible to people who were moderators of the Reddit page and or fandom wiki. It was also claimed that Graphic removed the program Malwarebytes from your computer, but this was debunked by Energy Cell, and the creators of the documentary later dismissed the allegation. Energy Cell also made up two people, his supposed sister Liz and his former friend Janita. Both of them acted sexually, acting as if they wanted to have sex with Energy Cell. He also apparently used Liz to catfish someone underage into sending them their dick pic, which he later posted to a different server and joked about their dick size. Energy Cell claims that this entire section about CP was fabricated. There's a lot more to this situation, like Energy Cell talking down to and berating people who complain and report bugs to him, and his inability to handle criticism. But I only put the most interesting parts in here, as I don't want to retell the entirety of the drama, so make of this what you will. Good Blocks. Good Blocks was a 2008 Roblox revival released to the public on December 19th of 2019. Not only did the revival use the 2008 Roblox client, but also the 2008 website. Everything was going well until a client vulnerability was exploited to get the IP addresses of players. One of these hackings was recorded and uploaded to YouTube on February 27th of 2021. The video shows a player in a game that slowly starts filling up with other players. Soon enough, everyone's names get changed to their IP address. Some people didn't get their IP address leaked, resulting in their name being changed to "Consider yourself lucky." Everyone starts panicking and they get killed, which makes a message appear on the screen. A day after the hacking, Good Blocks shut down so they could fix the issues. They state that it could take up to a year to fix the issues, or it can end up closing permanently. Since then, the Discord server has been reinstated, and the website was updated on June 6 of 2022 with a single message, explaining that the website will be updated with an archive. The website has been in maintenance mode since June of 2023, but you can access the archive through the subdomain shown on screen. And just as a side note, incidents such as these happen quite often to old Roblox revivals, mainly because the security of the clients or the website is often neglected. Brick Planet or Block City. Brick Planet, formerly known as Block City, is a clone of Roblox first created around early March of 2016 by Isaac Heimer. It initially only had a website with features such as groups, an avatar shop and forums, as it took a year for games and the game client to release. When it was released, it was very primitive, as you could only walk in 4 directions and there wasn't a depth barrier. In early March of 2017, a week and a half after the game client was released, Isaac announced that Block City was closing and development was discontinued. It returned in June of 2017 as Brick Planet. Many new features were added along with fixing some issues. During this time, many YouTubers found the game and popularized it. On December 31st of 2017, games and the game client were re-released. The game client was heavily improved from the previous version. During 2018, more YouTubers such as Flamingo played Brick Planet. However, at the end of August of 2018, Brick Planet was shut down again. Throughout 2018 until 2020, Brick Planet shut down and reopened numerous times. On November 10th of 2020, the official Brick Planet Twitter account tweeted that Brick Planet will be returning, and a roadmap on their website was made public. On February 5th of 2022, Brick Planet shut down yet again. The website changed to a note from Isaac where he states that he does not have the passion for Brick Planet at all, and that it isn't something that he wants to do in his life. The Brick Planet Discord server was also deleted, and the moderators for it were completely left in the dark. Those who donated to Brick Planet weren't refunded, which led to people criticizing Isaac for scamming his users. Because of the backlash, Isaac started refunding people. Brick Planet once again reopened on July 14th of 2022, eventually getting out of beta and releasing to the public in November. Since then, Brick Planet has been doing quite well for itself, acquiring a hefty community and getting regular updates. Brick Hill. Brick Hill is another clone of Roblox that has become immensely popular over the years, as it has gathered over 1 million users. It has many of the same features such as avatar customization, forums, a game client, and the workshop, an equivalent to Roblox Studio in which you can make Brickhill games. The games can be hosted through the Brickhill website or players can host them themselves. The platform was started by twin brothers, Luke Dunn, known as Brick Luke, and Alexander Dunn, known as Space Builder. They were both inspired to create Brickhill due to games like Roblox, Blockland, and Minecraft. They initially started development on the website in 2016, with its closed beta being released on March 18th of 2017 and public release being on April 15th. A proper game client was released on October 7th, and a few months later on December 27th they reached 10,000 registered users. Sadly, just a few days later, Alex announced that Luke passed away, and the head that his character wore was renamed to Brick Luke's fedora to honor his legacy. Throughout 2018 to 2022, tons of holiday events and updates were released, significantly improving the website. On April 16th of 2022, 3 former staff members of Brickhill released a document exposing Alex as a pedophile, who was 21 years old at the time. Alex released a response that debunked the allegations a few days later, ending the controversy. However, this was only a precursor to October of 2022, when Alex was arrested in Ohio after traveling there from the United Kingdom to meet with a 16-year-old girl. Most of the charges against him were dropped and he had to surrender several of his devices to the court, after which he was released and returned to the UK. Soon after this, the Brickhill Twitter account issued a statement regarding Alex, and later a blog post was created that talked about the future of Brickhill. Jeffemy, who has been the lead website developer since 2017, became the acting CEO of Brickhill. Many questions about the new client, new website, community events and merchandise were also answered. Although it looked like things were still going to continue as usual, it was announced on July 26 of 2023 that user input would be reduced and the staff team will be stepping down, as Alex doesn't want to give ownership of Brickhill to Jeffemy despite agreeing to do so. These changes are currently still in effect. In Alex's own words, he has decided that the most dignified ending would be relegating the site to obscurity. Shirts and pants. Pants, 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 pants. This is a video uploaded by Shidletsky on April 23rd of 2008, made to announce the addition of shirts and pants. The music featured in the video was created by the user Stealth Pilot. The song is named Happy Day in Robloxia, and the text-to-speech voice was added just for the video. A blog post was made the next day to note the additions made in the past 2 weeks, like shirts and pants, along with a new lighting model, favorites for places, models and clothing, and a new character creation page. 16 years later, on July 30th of 2024, Shidletsky uploaded a sequel to the original video with brand new music. The video features a lot of random Roblox images and videos, usually related to shirts and pants. A lot of them are also from Roblox's early years, and some even feature Roblox staff.
Roblox's YouTube channel. Roblox's YouTube channel was created in 2006, but they started uploading videos in 2011. They mostly uploaded the reviews of various Roblox games, videos from BloxCon 2013-2014, videos from RDC and for events, and game development tutorials. Game reviews and game development tutorials have stopped entirely after Roblox revealed their 2017 logo, and nowadays they upload videos about various Roblox creators and some YouTube shorts. Hack Week. Roblox Hack Week is an annual competition that takes place at the Roblox HQ. As stated by Roblox, it allows employees to work on anything they want to for the sole purpose of improving what our Roblox fans see and use in the not too distant future. Hack Week has been going on since 2011, and many of the features created during it have been fully released. Some of these include game universes, video thumbnails, dynamic lighting, particle emulators, VR support, and videos. Roblox has since created videos that highlight some of the Hack Week projects. In 2023, Roblox created a 4-part docu-series about Hack Week 2022, where they focused on 4 teams of people doing their Hack Week projects. They did another series like this in 2024 about Hack Week 2023. Game genres. Game genres categorize games into different genres such as building, town and city, comedy, and adventure. The ability to filter games by genre was removed without any warning on October 26, 2017. According to a Night Galliad from Developer Relations, they were removed because not a lot of people were using them, and developers couldn't set a genre by default, leading to poor results. This prompted a lot of backlash, mainly from developers, as this prevented their games from getting more traction. Despite this, you can still choose a genre for your games. However, on March 11th, 2023, the Roblox staff member Zoroshow announced that genres would be returning. 20 days later, the features were added only to the mobile app, but it only searches up certain keywords in Roblox's broken search system, and uses internal genre set by Roblox, not the one set by developers, so it's not really a good replacement. Giftsplosions. Giftsplosions are annual events in which players can be rewarded gifts if they met specific requirements in the form of riddles. If the player met the requirements, the gift will be awarded to them and later opened into a different item. Since 2007, there have been 11 annual Giftsplosions. They were renamed to Holiday Giveaway in 2016, leading to a huge change to the event. The amount of gifts was brought down to free as well, all of which you could get for free without even having to meet any of the requirements. Many players hated this change to the event, with some taking to the forums to criticize it. According to a Roblox staff member, the change was made because of too many players asking how to get certain gifts, which somehow overloaded their moderation systems. The last holiday giveaway was in 2017, and since then, there hasn't been another one. There were efforts to save this tradition, but they sadly failed. Scubas. Scubas is an uncanny model created by Demizilla, also known as Grunge Time. Scubas became popular through games that Z Kevin worked on or contributed to. This includes games like Robot 64, Snow Day, and Supercube Cavern. Z Kevin wanted to expand Scubas across Roblox, so he asked his followers on Twitter to add them to their games in any shape, way, or form. Maplestick, along with the original creator of Scubas, managed to make Scubas into a UGC accessory.
Super Safe Chat. Super Safe Chat was a chat mode that prevented users who set their age to under 13 or were playing as a guest from sending custom chat messages, and instead gave them a chat system loaded with pre-approved messages. Additionally, players who had Super Safe Chat enabled could only see these messages. It was added in March of 2007 along with other updates that made Roblox COPPA compliant. It was later removed in 2014, meaning users under 13 could finally write their own chat messages, but they had a strict chat filter, and guests couldn't chat at all anymore. Remnants of it in the form of a command still existed after its removal until the command was removed as well around October of 2016. Epic Duck. The Epic Duck first appeared as an April Fool's prank in 2009. As detailed in a blog post, the prank was teased through the mysterious purple box, which was a hat that constantly changed. It was first mentioned in a previous blog post where Shedletsky stated that it would open into a unique item. The box initially changed to red, then it changed to yellow, and lastly it changed to pictures of a dog, an umbrella, a cake, and a keyhole. Players soon found out that the first letters of those words spelled duck. This iteration of the hat was further updated with a script that made the hat randomly quack, but most importantly, it made small and giant rubber ducks fall from the sky. The box then became the Rubber Ducky. The Epic Duck soon became a meme within the Roblox community, and many other hats and accessories were made, such as the Evil Duck, an evil version of the Rubber Ducky, and the tail of Epic Duck. Back when Super Safe Chat was a thing, an option was added that said, "The Epic Duck is coming." This phrase was also used in a short-lived Twitter meme in 2021 and 2022 that eventually trended in the United States. War groups. War groups, also known as superclans, are groups based on real-life militaries and armies that operate similarly to them. They create units akin to forts and bases and even declare wars on other military groups, where they raid each other's forts and bases. The winner is then decided through a final battle or by obtaining a certain amount of wins. Some wars, entitled Row Wars, are talked about in their own entry in Tier 5 because they are pretty obscure. War groups have a pretty extensive history dating back to 2010, but nowadays they aren't as popular as they used to be. Some of the most well-known war groups include the First Encounter Assault Recon, Vortex Security, and the Roblox Assault Team. Badge Hunters. Badge Hunters are players who collect player badges for any game that has them. There are groups dedicated to such players, the most prominent one being Badgers of Robloxia. The group name and icon are in reference to one of the first player badges, the Badger badge. The person with the most player badges at the time of recording this is TaskGirl400 with over 3.4 million badges. There are various types of badge games that they hunt badges on, like badge walks. As the name suggests, you walk on player badges and get them in that way. These games usually have other things to do that also give you player badges. There are also Find the Something badge games where you go around the map collecting various versions of a thing. These have become popular due to the rise of Find the Comics and Find the Little Guys, which both feature very hard badges. There is also the Global Badge Leaderboard game, where you can count how many badges you have and get yourself placed on leaderboards and see various statistics about badges. On February 25th of 2022, a dev forum post was made in which they announced that people can now make 5 free badges every day. Every badge after the 5th one now costs the original price, 100 Robux, until the limit is reset the next day. Many people welcome this change, but some in the badge hunting community see it very differently, since those who made gigantic badge walks wanted to be refunded and think they wasted their Robux. Or they think that this update ruins badge hunting, as people can freely make hundreds of places with free badges every day, which is already the case with the badge chain hub. Thankfully, the community figured out a way to remedy this by counting badges bought before that date as legacy badges, and those bought with Robux as valuable badges. Around May 20th, another update was released that rate limited the amount of badges you could be awarded to 80 per minute. This killed a lot of badge games, but thankfully this was remedied as well, as someone from the community created a script that bypasses the rate limit. On November 8th of 2023, the IDs for badges became randomized, making it impossible to find new badges.
ID surfers. ID surfers are users who look up specific IDs of games, users, or assets. They often look up numbers that are rare or referenced in pop culture, such as 1337, 420, their current year, 1 million, and the like. If a player gets an ID like the ones listed, they are more prone to being passed or guessed, which is what happened to the 1 billion user. And if an asset has such an ID and comments are enabled under it, people will usually post comments like claimed by the ID surfers, along with posting ASCII art. Flip Master Luke. At the 2016 Roblox Developers Conference, for some reason, many top developers at the time recorded another developer, Master Luke, backflipping off a tree. Because of that, a shirtless meme was made out of the event, appropriately named Flip Master Luke. That eventually led to the creation of a game by the same name by Zara's Branchkin, which has garnered a few thousand visits. Fabric. Fabric was a browser extension for Roblox and also a site that allowed users to rate Roblox games in the style of Metacritic. The extension added ratings from Fabric to all Roblox games, a reviews tab, and a store on the front page for the top rated games from Fabric. Reviews were split into 2 categories, based on the amount of reputation you got from your reviews and the number of reviews you had, with user reviews being from users with lower reputation and fewer reviews, and critic reviews being from users with higher reputation and a lot of reviews. The site also had features such as a discussion tab and a changelog tab for games. You could also view users' profiles on Fabric, which would show the amount of reputation they have and their reviews. On May 28, 2018, the servers for Fabric were taken offline, with the creator, Nex, stating that he didn't have enough time and energy to continue working on it. And he also said before the shutdown that Fabric was taking a toll on him mentally during one of his hardest semesters at college.
Dynablocks. Dynablocks is a name that was considered for Roblox during its very early days in 2003 and 2004. The domain dynablocks.com, along with the domains dynablocks.com and dynablog.com, are said to have been registered by Jim Stevens on December 12 of 2003. Although he has worked with Roblox on domain registration, it's unknown if he registered those specific domains. The name was scrapped in early 2004 in favor of Roblox. Until late 2020, all 3 domains redirected you to the Roblox website. An early mock-up of the Dynablocks website was shown at Roblox BloxCon 2013 during the State of Robloxia presentation by David Baszucki. This mock-up had some elements censored. The HD screenshot was found in another presentation created by David Baszucki in 2013 at Casual Connect, as a video of the presentation was uploaded and a download link to the presentation was in the description. Although the presentation is corrupted, the slides, including the screenshots, are intact, and the censors were done through PowerPoint features, meaning they could be removed. The browser window name has a reference to GoBlox, another name that was considered for Roblox. Roblox Twitch streams. On February 5th of 2014, it was announced through a blog post that Roblox will start live streaming on Twitch, starting with a 3-hour live stream on February 8th. The live streams were frequent and usually consisted of series such as The Next Level, Let's Play Roblox, Game Spotlight, and Blox Hour. All of these series were very similar, involving Roblox staff members and sometimes guests like popular Roblox personalities playing various Roblox games. The Roblox Developer Conference of 2018 and the 5th and 6th Bloxy Awards were streamed on Twitch as well. Since 2019, Roblox staff has stopped live streaming. Extra live stream incident. On October 24th of 2014, Roblox held a 24-hour live stream for Extra Life, which is an annual event where the video game industry comes together to raise money for various children's hospitals. Shortly after the end of a segment, the admins hosting the event took a break and turned off the camera, but forgot to turn off the microphone. This resulted in a conversation between the admins being broadcasted to everyone watching, during which they drank alcohol, swore, gave free Robux and items to themselves, and made disrespectful remarks about Roblox as a whole, like Roblox doesn't give a fuck about our department, saying that the website looks bad, and insulting certain Roblox users. The incident was uploaded on a throwaway YouTube channel. Roblox started copyright claiming re-uploads of the incident to scrub it off the internet. After the 24-hour livestream concluded, there was another livestream with David Baszucki for a brief interview to explain what happened. In that livestream, it was revealed that the admins involved in the incident were fired. The admins involved were BitShift, Jack Smirking Revenge, and Snowblocks. BitShift is the only one who has stayed terminated since then, as Jack Smirking Revenge was later reinstated and Snowblocks was never terminated. The Roblox community disagreed with their terminations and users asked on the forums for them to be rehired, but that never happened. BitShift also publicly apologized on Twitter about the incident, stating that he was only hanging out and didn't know that the stream was left on, along with being sorry for what he said despite just venting after a hard week. There's also an alleged Reddit post that he wrote after his Twitter apology, where he goes more in depth. In it, he said that drinking in the workplace was common, along with swearing in private, which he thought was the case during the incident. His thoughts on the website were already semi-public, and even said it in his job interview, as it was his job to make it better, and he was the one who made the rollercoaster homepage in August of 2014. He also goes on to explain that giving free Robux and outrageous Builders Club to themselves was normal to do, though they limited their purchases of any limited items and the Robux being only for game passes. Mr. O. There isn't much known about Mr. O, but he is accused of indirectly causing the firing of 3 Roblox employees due to the Extra Live stream incident. He was also somewhat involved in the 2012 April Fool's incident, since his account allegedly spiked in value from around 20,000 Robux to 300,000 Robux during it. Mr. O ran the Twitter account Roblox Secrets, where he would post Roblox trivia. After the Extra Live stream incident, he used the account to give attention to it and wanted people to make a video of the incident popular. Along with this, he made a video called Roblox Goes on a Twitch Rampage, which featured a CinemaSins styled sins counter for each time the staff did something bad during the incident. The video was taken down after 48 hours due to a copyright claim by Roblox, though re-uploads still exist. He is currently still active on Roblox, though he hasn't done anything as big as this since then.
Slenders. Slender is a term used for a specific type of Roblox avatar. They usually look skinny and tall, which is where they got their name from, since they are apparently compared to Slenderman in body shape. They usually wear the Robloxian 2.0 package, along with black clothing, hair, and expensive items, such as Stitch Face. The look is described as emo, punk, or even goth. These types of avatars can be mainly found in mocap animation games, The Hood, and other similar games like that. They are usually described as being online daters, toxic to others, bypassing the chat filter, and telling people to mic up, where they tell another player to get in a Discord voice chat, or really any voice chat with them, so that they can insult each other. Some also make TikToks featuring their avatars, along with their copy and paste girlfriend, which is another trend of girls, for the 3.0 package, aesthetic accessories, and act nearly the same as Slenders do. Row bangers. Row bangers, or row gangsters, are somewhat similar to Slenders in a way, except they dress and act like gangsters. They are usually found in games like Realistic Roleplay 2, The Streets, and The Hood. Like Slenders, they are toxic to others, and they also used to play loud, bypass audio in the aforementioned games.
Roblox Creepypasta Wiki. This is a fandom wiki where you can write your own Roblox creepypastas. Since anyone can make their own creepypastas, most of the ones on the site are low quality and they are usually filled with cliches and overused tropes. Some popular Roblox creepypastas actually come from here, such as Bloxwatch, Annie, and Vault 8166.
Melvin. Melvin is a creepypasta supposedly dating all the way back to 2008. The most common version of the story is that a boy named Melvin Blue created an account on Roblox and was fairly popular among players. However, one day, he passed away from cancer. Roblox created a transparent shaggy hat in his honor, but it was later deleted for unknown reasons. Due to its removal, Melvin's spirit became angry, and he started to haunt a random player every year. The player would get teleported to a pitch black place instead of the original place they wanted to go to. Inside the place, there was a transparent, ghostly shaggy hat floating around, speaking to and taunting the player. The player can't close the game, and after a short time, their game crashes. They then receive a transparent shaggy hat called Melvin, and then they get terminated. Tinfoilbot, a satirical Roblox YouTuber and game creator, created a creepypasta in November 2013. He made a video about Melvin, and then later a recreation of the pitch black place Melvin haunts the player in. And Clone Trooper 1019 also created a game about him, with his own twist on the creepypasta, where you go through a hallway instead of a pitch black room. Rule of 50. Rule of 50 is an account that didn't appear on a player search on Roblox. The About section of the account states as an alternate account of the player Aloysius, but the same thing was happening to their account. It didn't appear on a player search as well, even though the account exists. Both accounts aren't of note. They have the same outfit with nothing else really going on for them. A possible explanation as to why the accounts didn't appear may be due to being banned instead of terminated, and the accounts weren't reactivated by the account owner. Because of the mystery surrounding the account, a creepypasta was born out of it. The creepypasta originates from the description of a video from late 2013. According to it, Lua 5.0, which Roblox apparently used in the early days, somehow created a Lua 50 account in 2007. Whenever the account joined the game, weird things would start happening, such as sounds or music playing, and Roblox later switched to Lua 5.1, but this didn't stop Lua 50 from being spotted in games. The video itself shows a way to summon Lua 50 by building a monument using old building tools and then saying Lua 50 10 times in the chat. A part of the monument is then destroyed, and weird sounds are playing while it switches to night, after which the video ends. The uploader states that everything on his account was erased after that, which seems to be the truth when looking at it, but it was simply set up to look like that. At an unknown date, Lua 50 and Aloysius started being visible on the player search, ending the mystery. Obama Bike. The Obama Bike is a creepypasta / myth that was created as a joke. It's essentially a bike in the game Robloxity that drives by itself. Because of that, people have resorted to spreading rumors that the bike is possessed by a spirit / ghost, or that it's being ridden by Barack Obama. This creepypasta / myth was popularized by GreenLogoCats123, as he made 2 videos about it, which made people flock to the game and record their own sightings of the bike. There are multiple explanations to how the bike is driving by itself, such as it being hit by another vehicle. It could have also been due to a bug in a Roblox client. It took a few tries, but if you held W and then pressed space to jump out of the seat, there was a chance that the vehicle of choice would take off by itself. You could actually do this in any game that used the default driving mechanism, vehicle seats. The bug seems to have been fixed in recent times.
Divine Sister. Divine Sister is a group owned by Valindra that's known for being one of the biggest LGBTQ+ communities on Roblox that has some disturbing games. It went through many iterations, initially starting as the Alovian Empire in 2017. After this, it became the Sisters Covenant, which is when the group became popular due to videos created by GreenLegoCats123, in which he investigated it. The group was later locked by Roblox, after which it returned under another group called the Sisters Order. Because this group was locked as well, the group Divine Sister was created in June of 2019 and has gathered over 600,000 members since, and popular Roblox YouTubers like Flamingo made videos about their games. The group has 3 games: the Bright Isle Sanatorium, Less Beyond East, and Game Moria Peak Church Asylum. The first game, which is the most popular, has to survive in a sanatorium where nurses give you meals and holy water so you don't turn into monsters called ills. It was taken down sometime in December of 2019 due to cannibalism and gore, after which it got re-uploaded to remove these features. The other 2 games seem to be pretty similar. The group itself has been heavily described as being a cult, along with utilizing cult-like behavior. The owner of the group, Valindra, has been exposed several times for being racist against black people and Muslims, ableist, hijabophobic, and making weird satirical Roblox videos on his channel. The Bright Isle Sanatorium has also been criticized because you could eat poop, as well as having the gay Bible that has appearances of gay Jesus, which was made specifically to offend Christians. Vault 8166. Vault 8166 is a myth/creepypasta about a rumored hidden server on Roblox where unknown things happen. It's alleged that anybody with access to it can do whatever they want on Roblox. It also houses exploits and viruses that are hidden in Roblox models and plugins. According to the myth, on November 15th of 2016, somebody posted a thread on the subforum Roblox Talk about how they found Vault 8166 and talked about how evil is operating behind our eyes. The thread was later completely removed and the person who posted it was deleted. A video, supposedly from that same day, was recovered, which showcases 2 people running through a corridor in Vault 8166 before one of them is killed by a creature nicknamed Guardian, which escaped. Although many recreations have sprung up since, the actual Vault 8166 was publicly released in 2020, although some stuff doesn't work as it should. The vault is split into several levels, but not all of them have been found. A group called Vault 8166 Community is behind the public version of Vault 8166, which is owned by Pranef Veer, who made the original story and footage for the myth. In the description of the group, a dev forum post created on June 8th of 2022 is linked, talking about the origins of Vault 8166 and its future. He explains that the original concept for Vault 8166 was a mix of classic Area 51 games on Roblox, Roblox myths, and conspiracy theories involving the US government and the paranormal. Due to its popularity, people started changing the story and creating fake lore, as well as creating their own vaults, after which Pranaf abandoned the myth. After some people found them and filled them in on what was happening to the myth, they returned to it, after which they released a public version of Vault 8166 in 2020. They then stated that a private version would be released in the future, which would live up to the legend. It's speculated that you can access it through the public version, but it's unknown how. Since then, the story of Vault 8166 has been picked back up, with the other vaults being incorporated as well. A fandom wiki for them, named Vaultpedia, was also created, along with a new YouTube channel that posted footage of vault-related incidents. This channel was later turned into a personal one and the videos have been partially archived. Nole. Nole is one of the earliest and most well-known myths, first documented in February of 2010. It's claimed that his avatar was all black and that he wore the Void Star. He was theorized to be a Roblox hacker, with some believing him to be a successor of 1x1x1x1, coming to destroy Roblox. The truth is that his account was likely created during the time Roblox was down for maintenance, resulting in glitches on his account. You couldn't visit his profile and you could only see the information provided by the player search, meaning you could only see his broken avatar, name, blurb, a location or last seen. To make this strange occurrence more interesting, people made up the whole Void Star shtick and his supposed hackings, which people believed. Because of that, Nole is worshipped by cults, such as the Void Cult. There are also other myths that reference Nole in some way, such as Lesus and the Cole family. One of these Void cultists, Svai Judy Nole, was claimed to be Nole himself, though this isn't true. He claims to have tried finding out information about Nole, but the Roblox support team couldn't disclose a player's information to a random person. Svai Judy Nole has a place called The Tempest, which became an iconic place for the Nole myth. It features a black temple that breaks down after a few minutes. Behind the temple is a hidden teleporter that teleports you to a set of floating islands with snow and trees with pink leaves. There are purple teleporters on the islands which lead to the other islands, but those don't have anything interesting. The main island has a hidden pathway, hidden by a cloud, which leads to a waterfall. Dropping on the bottom of the waterfall teleports you to another island, this time with the ruins of buildings. There's a small blue temple with a tomb inside of it, but that seems to be everything in the game. Svaiju the Nole is actually an account created by the user Lego Mario, also known as Swame8333. The account's name is actually a combination of other usernames, those being Swame, Acus, Just Go Away 1, Dignity, and Nole. There were also multiple rumors about the account Banworld being Nole or Svaiju the Nole. However, it was later found out that this was simply a hoax spread by the user Krinktastic. Lezus. Lezus was a somewhat popular myth created on December 20th of 2011, who was relatively active up until his termination in 2018. He's garnered over 130,000 visits across both of his games, The Risen King Fu Fell and Lazarus, The Fallen King Fu Rose. The account hosted a lot of different games over the years, which have become inaccessible since. He was also associated with void cultists because one of his early games was called Nole. The story of the myth starts in 2007 when Lezus was originally on an account called Lezusia. On this account, Lezus was best friends with another user, Malarina. The two faced constant harassment each time they played, which led to them being falsely reported and banned. The next time they played together, they said, "Tick tock, revenge has come," causing the server to shut down, after which Lezusia and Malarina were never seen again. Roblox would later terminate their accounts due to their actions and behavior. Lezusia later resurfaced under the account Lezus in 2011 and supposedly hacked and terminated an account impersonating Malarina. Through the games, it's theorized that these events happened in real life. Lezusia and Malarina were bullied in real life, after which Malarina passed away, leading Lezusia to substance abuse and eventually their death. Lezusia is then reborn as Lezus, a reincarnation of Lezusia, Malarina, and Lazorius through unknown means. It's unknown how exactly Lazorius ties into the story. There were also other accounts related to Lezus, such as Leasan, who was apparently his son, and Laxio, who was friends with Lezusia. Lezus would host hangouts at his games, during which he was actually laid back and casual instead of mysterious like other myths. He would also give admin commands to other players. One of his last hangouts was sometime at the beginning of 2017, in which he would stay until the very end. Lezus was owned by the user Ironman5747, who intentionally terminated the account. In the video titled The Truth to Lezus, created on a throwaway YouTube account, he states that he originally started the myth with his friend, Bamrules, under a game on his account. He proceeds to show the game, which was created a day before the Lezus account was made, along with old Roblox messages discussing Lezus. He also showed group wall messages about Lezus under his old myth group, Extreme Busters, from around the same time. Because people from the group liked the myth, Ironman5747 created an account for it, after which it became popular, so he and his friends started adding more to the story.
Error 45229. Error 45229 is a popular myth from 2014. Shortly after the account's creation, it was said that someone would send you a message asking you to play a game. Playing it crashed your computer, and going back to Roblox after that sent you to a game called You Were a Fool to Run From Us by the user 45229. Your character would also turn red, and your username would change to 45229. The game seems to tell the story of 45229 and the Stone Man, which you could find out through hidden teleporters. Apparently, the Stone Man failed 45229 and begged for forgiveness. 45229 instead seems to crucify him inside a shack in the woods. There's a secret path outside the shack that leads to a makeshift grave for the Stone Man, with 45229 in front of it with a crazed look. A white, transparent figure also makes a couple of appearances, which could probably be an angel of sorts. Sometime at the beginning of 2017, 45229 returned and updated the game, which now featured an abandoned house, a grave, and a few trees scattered around. There was also a hidden teleporter, which led to people worshipping 45229, and around a year later, the account was terminated, and the game was put under review. Little Nathaniel. Little Nathaniel is a myth created on November 3rd, 2015. He's well known for many of his games, such as The Thing That Walks With Her, which has gained over 190,000 visits. He also has several other accounts, those being Nathaniel's Dreaming, Nathaniel's Mind, Nathaniel's Nightmares, Nathaniel's End, and this one with a bunch of numbers. These accounts have their own games as well, totaling up to 9 games, some of which have several sub-places. All of them are beautifully built, making Little Nathaniel stand out amongst other myths. According to the story, Nathaniel has depression and has attempted suicide numerous times, likely because his mother died. He believes himself to be less than human, a stranger to the world, and unworthy of existence. The story has concluded, as Nathaniel is likely dead at the end, so the myth is retired and semi-active. His last major activity was joining the myth group Consinity in 2020. The myth was created by Osmadius, who has built tons of showcase games over the years. On his personal website, you can find a lot of images of his Roblox builds, some of which are public on his profile. There's also a section for builds created for myth games, which includes games created for Consinity and Little Nathaniel. Bobby's Here. Bobby's Here is a popular myth created on December 14th, 2016. He's well known for his game, Memories, which people have become intrigued by due to the amount of hidden triggers that open up new areas of the game. He favorited his own game 6 times, but that's because he made 5 places earn that game, and favored them all along with the main game. You can access these places for the main game after finding the teleporters for them. One of the teleporters leads to the game My Bar, which was created by his only friend, Lars Bar. The story of Bobby's Here is unclear, as it's hard to make out a story due to Memories likely being a collection of Bobby's random frosted memories. It's possible that his friend Lar died, and he is suffering from PTSD due to that. People who have met Bobby in game claim that he doesn't reveal much of the story, and that he might be suffering from amnesia, as Bobby has stated that he doesn't remember anything, and that he's lost. Wohi. Wohi is a well-known myth known for her game My Dollhouse, which garnered over 500,000 visits before it was put under review. The About section of her profile states that Wohi, the original account owner, passed away on December 16th, 2017, and that the person who is now in the account is simply there to archive it. That person doesn't have a lot of information, only that the accounts of Wohi's friends are not owned by Wohi. Her game featured a giant dollhouse with dolls that you could walk around in. It had several secret teleporters, which led you to darker versions of the dollhouse. Most of the first teleporters led you to a slightly changed version of the dollhouse, where some of the dolls were moved to different places or disappeared. The most interesting teleporter was the last one, as the entire dollhouse was made out of dark gray wooden planks and a TV playing static. After touching the TV twice, the dolls from before reappeared with black clothes. In front of the TV was a giant black figure with blood seeping from above it. If you went upstairs, you could have found tons of dead bodies on the floor, along with some hanging off the ceiling. It's speculated that the black figure is Ukrydy, Wohi's Roblox friend. Ukrydy is a Polish word that means hidden. He has a place simply named Ukrydy's Place, and the description tells us about a car accident in Denver, Colorado, in which a man and his daughter were killed. The man was found in a car near an abandoned area in town, but his daughter was nowhere to be seen. You spawn in front of an old abandoned house. There is a grave to the right side of the house with Wohi's name, and above the house stands Ukrydy, watching over the area. In a patch of grass, you can find a text, "After you twan, she will be dead." To the left of the house is a tunnel, which leads to a dead end with a doll without its head. There's also a short hidden path that leads to a figure hanging off a tree next to a road. Wohi's other friend, Sorne, has a game called Tomb of the Great Oak, which is also currently under review. The description talks about Yutwan, and that if you complete it, you can go to the other side, signifying that it's some sort of ritual. In the game, you would spawn in front of a tree next to rocks that had a hidden entrance. Going through it teleported you to an identical area, except Sorne was now hanging off the tree. Touching her teleported you to a weird area with a statue that looks similar to the black figure from My Dollhouse. The description of this game and Ukrydy's game both mention Yutwan, which is a Roblox account, but it's unknown if it's tied to the myth. The About section of the account states, "When the sun sets, the Yutwan will start." It also has a game called Scarecrow, but is of no significance. Flamingo being paid by myth groups. This was likely a theory being thrown around that myth groups secretly pay Flamingo money or Robux to make videos about them. While it sounds possible, Flamingo has denied this under Toasty's Roblox Iceberg video.
Unturned. Unturned isn't a game on Roblox but a standalone free-to-play game on Steam, developed by Smartly Dressed Games, whose sole developer is Nelson Sexton. Sexton began his career with Roblox on the account DeadZoneZagZag, where he created the games Dead Zone, a zombie apocalypse survival game, and Battlefield, a first-person shooter based on the game series of the same name. Both games have garnered millions of visits, but they are no longer playable for different reasons. An uncopy-locked version of Dead Zone surfaced, which led to many copies, and he encountered issues with Battlefield while trying to fix it. This led him to quit Roblox and start developing Unturned, created in Unity. Unturned is a zombie survival game in which you have to scavenge the map for weapons and supplies. It was originally designed as a browser game, but he later published it to Steam Greenlight, a discontinued service where developers could upload their games and users could vote on which ones to add to the Steam store. Unturned was eventually greenlit and published on Steam in May of 2012. At one point, it was one of the most played games on Steam. He was also working on a newer version of Unturned, named Unturned 2, which was being developed from scratch in Unreal Engine. It has been in the works since late 2017, although as of May 11th of 2022, development on it has been paused due to mental health issues, but he has been working on updates for Unturned. Lethal Company. Like Unturned, Lethal Company is a standalone game released in early access on Steam on October 23rd of 2023. It's a multiplayer survival horror game where you are an employee working for the company, tasked to collect and sell scrap from various industrialized moons that have monsters and traps lurking at every corner. The game took the internet by storm in November of 2023, becoming one of the most popular games, getting a daily average of 100,000 players and even winning the Better with Friends award in the 2023 Steam Awards. The game is developed by Zeekers, whose name you might recognize if you've played horror games on Roblox. He's made quite a few of them, with the most popular ones being Lightbulb and Silent Dark, bringing in a total of 7 million visits. Some of his lesser known games include A Lucid Dream, Doodle and They Breathe. He later left Roblox and started making games in Unity, which he has published on Steam and itch.io. Roblox TikTok. It's not that surprising, but Roblox has a big presence on TikTok. The TikToks can range from dance edits of the TikTokers' avatars, most of the time they look like stereotypical Slenders and whatnot, outfit showcases, Roblox recreations of other TikToks or memes, gameplay and other things. Roblox has its own account on there as well, which posts about popular games and Roblox creators. There's also inappropriate stuff, such as suggestive and sexual TikToks, along with online dating, which I doubt goes anywhere, but it's worth mentioning. All of this also applies to other platforms that have short-form content, such as YouTube and Instagram. Glitches. Many glitches have been present in Roblox's clients and websites since its inception. If a glitch is found, it's usually patched within hours or days. Some of these glitches include walking on the death barrier, the infinite daily Robux glitch, where if you set your computer's time into the future, you would instantly get all of the daily Robux, the Turbo Builders Club visual glitch, which showed the Turbo Builders Club icon next to players on the leaderboard despite them not having it, the fly bug or plane glitch, which is talked about in the next tier, and the null zone, talked about in the next entry. One of the more recent ones was the layered clothing glitch that utilized combinations of layered clothing that glitched out and stretched into unimaginable sizes. This was very disruptive and even produced a flashing effect that could have triggered epilepsy. All of these, except for the null zone, have been patched. There's also a plethora of client glitches that are mostly used in obby games that abuse the way the Roblox physics engine works. For example, there are a lot of ways to clip through walls, such as corner clipping, emote clipping using Dance 2, Laugh, Salute or the V-pose Tommy Hilfiger emotes, lag clipping and item clipping. There are also glitches like wall hopping, which is jumping on the edge of two parts, ladder flicking, which is jumping without bouncing off a ladder or a truss, frog jumping, which is infinitely jumping using another player, high jumps, the freeze glitch, holding right click on the Roblox window tab, and item jumping, which is dropping your item and jumping on it. All of these can be used to get out of bounds or into areas quicker than intended. On December 10th of 2021, wall clipping and its variations were patched. The Null Zone. The Null Zone is a fan-made name for when the Roblox engine starts glitching out due to floating point errors after you travel a huge amount of stats. That is because floating point numbers can't precisely represent all real numbers, so they become less precise as they grow in value and the gap between numbers grows. This problem happens in Roblox's engine as the farther you go out, the more distorted everything becomes. At around 2 to the power of 19 stats, everything becomes noticeably wobbly. At around 2 to the power of 20 stats, physics start glitching out, and from here on out, your character gets more and more distorted. At around 2 to the power of 24 stats, you are reduced to a few triangles and your camera is hard to control when zoomed in. At around 2 to the power of 26 stats, you are reduced to nothing. Beyond this point, it's also possible to go out of the skybox where you are met with a black void. Ruben Sim. Ruben Sim, or Ben Simon, is a Roblox YouTuber and its biggest critic, who first joined Roblox in 2008 on the account Navy898. He frequented the Roblox forums on this account where he became a somewhat well-known forum user. One of the things that Ruben is the most vocal about is how terrible the Roblox moderation is and how many pedophiles are on the platform, dedicating several videos to these problems. In 2014, he created the satirical video series Roblox Watch, created in response to the extra live stream incident in which he talked and joked about various news and incidents related to the platform. In one of the episodes, Ruben spoke about the developer Lawless, who should have gone moderated but didn't, likely because he was a paying member. Ruben joked about this on the forums, leading to Navy898 being terminated on December 5th of 2014. In the last episode of Season 1 of Roblox Watch, he exposed the head of moderation, Noble Dragon, for following an NSFW furry Twitter account on his Roblox Related Twitter account. According to Ruben himself, this led to him being under constant surveillance by Roblox moderators, as every account created under his IP address was instantly terminated. After this, he kept posting Roblox videos, usually funny moments captured in various Roblox games. In one of these videos uploaded on September 5th of 2021, Ruben was using voice chat, which was a new feature at the time only for top developers. In the video, Ruben and other people swore, made sexual noises, and made fun of those who didn't have voice chat. This eventually led to the termination of all of his accounts, after which he made another video criticizing Roblox moderation. He then made yet another video where he returned to the voice chat game on a new account and continued swearing and making inappropriate jokes with others. He explains in the video that his MAC address was banned, meaning Roblox didn't work on his computer, so he had to resort to virtual machines. A month later, on November 23rd, things escalated even further between Ruben and Roblox, as it was revealed that Roblox sued Ruben for false terrorist threats against RDC and a ton of other awful things. Ruben uploaded 2 parts of a 3-part series where he went over the lawsuit, debunking some of their claims while also criticizing Roblox's moderation and that they are hypocrites. He mentions that they should have gone after pedophiles who are lurking on the platform instead of him, providing several examples of users who were exposed to be pedophiles. On January 16th of 2022, Ruben tweeted that he and Roblox have settled, saying that he gets to keep all of his social media accounts, but he won't be accessing the platform anymore. In August of 2022, he launched the Twitter account Moderation for Dummies, where he shared links to Roblox items, accounts, and groups that bypass moderation. He did this so they could be mass reported by followers of the account or even deleted by Roblox staff, as they still monitored his accounts. They later switched to a Discord server where they have a dedicated team of people reporting these bypasses. Ruben also has a video series documenting some of the bypass things he finds or gets sent, such as entire groups of pedophiles wanting to do erotic roleplay with others, usually children. In many of these videos, he also goes after furries, as he believes that a large majority of them are zoophiles and porn addicts and that they don't belong on Roblox. On his Twitter account, he occasionally posts tweets intended to anger furries and even calls some of them out. This leads to more harm than good, as his fans harass them to the point of privating their accounts or even deleting them. Ruben has gotten tons of criticism because of this and has gotten into tons of drama regarding his hatred of furries. Not only that, but he has gotten called out by others for being racist and transphobic.
Library and Avatar Shop spam. For a long time, both the Avatar Shop, now the Marketplace, and Library, now the Creator Store, have been spammed with massive amounts of items. These items are usually stolen from other creators and re-uploaded hundreds or even thousands of times. Library item spam usually consists of models and decals being botted to the front page with the intent of self-promotion or spreading models with malicious scripts. And the Avatar Shop is hit by the spam even harder, as clothing creators can get their clothing stolen and re-uploaded, which means that the person who re-uploaded it earns Robux instead of the original creator. The re-uploads even feature keywords such as original, and the name could be in all caps or with emojis, making it harder to even find the original piece of clothing. This happens due to how easy it is to steal clothing, so people have taken advantage of that fact. Many clothing designers have decided to put their names on hidden parts of the clothing or the clothing template itself, so it can be easily identified who made the clothing. Others have decided to create clothing store games and advertise themselves on social media. Roblox has been heavily criticized by creators for not doing anything about botted models and clothing theft. The only thing Roblox has done is implement upload limits per hour and captchas, but these have become a hindrance to actual creators. Infected free models. It was already mentioned in the backdoors entry that free models can contain malicious scripts that give others access to your game, but it can also include different scripts that mess with the game. These scripts usually clone fire or smoke instances into every part, clone the infected script everywhere it can, rename everything, repeatedly kill the player, or spawn parts to the point of crashing the game. These scripts often have the names script ... or is it, infected, 40 being, dang, you got owned, and other stuff. They can also sometimes pose as an anti-lag script, which is supposed to reduce lag in games. To counter this, people have created vaccine or antivirus scripts that will delete scripts with the aforementioned names, but most of the time, these pose as infected scripts as well. And these scripts have become broken over time due to Roblox updates, as some of them were created back in 2009. One of these scripts was a self-replicating anti-lag script, created in January of 2009 by Dued1, the creator of Work at a Pizza Place. It was later used as a base for a script that renamed everything to Infected. The script affected a lot of games and angered tons of players, who blamed Dued1 and even 1x1x1x1. Dued later stated that he didn't mean for this to happen. Roblox has since implemented features that warn you about free models having scripts, and even tried to stop the scripts from doing their intended purpose. Of course, if you are suspicious of free models, you can search through them yourself and delete any scripts that may seem out of place. Force field killing. A force field is supposed to prevent you from taking damage, but there are some cases where you can get killed even when it's active. This will get slightly technical, but a force field only prevents the health property of a humanoid from being lowered using the humanoid take damage function, but it can prevent it from being set to 0 using humanoid.health equals 0, or lowered using humanoid.health equals humanoid.health minus some number. The humanoid health method is commonly used in obby games, so you can't skip stages or make them easier for yourself. The Gears Hyper Laser Gun and Frostblade could kill people through force fields, but this was later patched because they were used to spawn kill others. UAE ban. In May 2018, the United Arab Emirates banned Roblox and other gaming websites after the UAE Attorney General, Dr. Hamad Al-Shamsi, received numerous reports about these games being damaging to children's health. This led him to assigning the Telecommunications Regulatory Authority to restrict these games and websites with telecoms and internet providers. This made many kids and parents upset, but many parents also supported the ban, as they claimed their children had been exposed to swearing and sexually explicit content. Roblox was unbanned in the UAE in early March of 2021, although it's unknown why that was done. The main reason for the unban might be because Roblox went public on the stock market around that time.
Deaf Sound origin and Tome Tallarico lawsuit. This was the file for the old deaf sound that played when your character died. The sound became a huge meme within the Roblox community and it became known as OOF instead. It was later discovered in June of 2019 that it was created for the game Messiah, released in 2000. The sound was created on September 18th of 1999, credited to the sound designer Joey Kouros. Because the origins of the sound were now known to the public, this led to a copyright dispute in January of 2020 with Tome Tallarico, who owns the rights to the sound. Tommy talked with Roblox, offering them to purchase the sound from him so they could keep it, but Roblox declined, apparently stating that they didn't need to as they mistakenly got the sound from an illegal website. Roblox later responded on the dev forums, claiming that they actually got the sound from a stock sound CD-ROM consisting of licensed, copyright-free sounds. They also said that Tommy didn't show them that he has ownership of the sound, prompting him to post a part of his contract showing that he does own it. According to Tommy, he and Roblox reached an agreement in November of 2020, stating that Roblox would replace the sound, but developers would be able to use it in their games if they paid 100 Robux. Along with this, he also released the Tommy Tallarico Roblox sound design kits that include tons of sound effects, which you can purchase and use in your Roblox games. There are 4 of these kits, all of which have different amounts of sounds. The dev sound was supposed to be replaced that same month with the release of the developer marketplace, but Roblox was still working on it at that time. On July 26 of 2022, the developer marketplace was finally released, and the dev sound was replaced with a different one, spawning backlash from the community. Roblox clarified on Twitter that it was done due to a licensing issue. Since then, the classic dev sound hasn't been officially added back. Experimental mode. To give a bit of context, filtering enabled was a game property that prevented changes done on the client from being replicated to the server and other clients. It stopped most exploits from working and only the exploiters saw the changes. Experimental mode was a feature announced on July 19th of 2017 that placed a label on games that didn't have that property enabled. This was used to warn others that the game is less secure and created by a developer new to the platform. Furthermore, experimental mode games were only visible for users over 13 years old, and games with filtering enabled turned on would be prioritized in search results for users under 13 years old. These changes were made to incentivize developers to turn on filtering enabled and make their games more secure. A year later, on June 26 of 2018, it was announced through a dev forum post that experimental mode games were hidden from sorts on the Discover page, but were still playable. A month later, on July 13th, another change was announced, making it so experimental mode games could only be played by users over 13 years old or by friends of the game creator. On July 20th, this was changed so only friends of the game creator could play the games. This restricted access to hundreds of classic games, as their creators were either terminated or moved on from Roblox and couldn't act upon this change, resulting in massive backlash by the community. On July 25th, experimental mode was completely removed. Every game was forcefully updated to have filtering enabled turned on, even if it was turned off, which applied to future games as well. Although this means that classic games were playable again, they might not work properly because of scripts being broken due to not being compatible with filtering enabled. Lost clients. Roblox has had hundreds of versions, referred to as clients, released since its creation, but not all of them have been properly archived, making them lost media. These are usually clients from around 2006 to 2009 or even earlier, though a lot of clients from later on also haven't been archived. People have been trying to find old clients by scouring the web for any websites that might have them archived, or by contacting anyone who played Roblox at that time to see if they still have them. Some of them were found this way and have been preserved since. There are a few reasons as to how old Roblox clients have become lost. From 2004 until January of 2008, Roblox users had to manually download installers for each new version. Although some of these installers have been found, they grabbed files from Roblox's servers that don't exist anymore. They later switched to executables that had all of the files bundled inside of them, making them easier to find. It's unknown how many versions were released during this time. In August of 2008, they switched to a deploy server that automatically installed the newest client. Each new release was listed in a lengthy file called deploy history, which all had a hash that could be used to download the client. Although this is still used today, clients from before February of 2020 have been made inaccessible, and only a few have been properly archived. There's also the fact that not a lot of people played Roblox in its early years. Some of those who were contacted didn't have old clients anymore, usually because of the computer being discarded or the files were deleted. Even David Baszucki has said that they don't keep old Roblox clients, as it will be too complex to release them. In 2017, a dedicated search team for old Roblox clients called Client Search was created, who have since uncovered a lot of old Roblox clients. The earliest Roblox client that has been found is from March 27th of 2007. It was found on March 14th of 2021 by a person in the Client Search Discord server, who got it from an anonymous person. Several later clients from 2007 have been found as well, along with some clients from 2008 and 2009, but many of them are still lost. There have been several leads for 2006 clients, but to no avail. Many of these old clients can be found on this website, although it's not up to date.
Script builder games. Script builders are a genre of games where players can code their own scripts and test them while in-game. Most script builders can even run scripts from paste sites, like Pastebin. They are a common hangout for scripters, whether they're new to scripting or experts. The scripts run inside a sandbox environment, which blocks malicious code and access to the rest of the game, so it can't be tampered with. One of the first script builders was created by Animax on March 16, 2008, with the game being uncopylocked, so anyone could use it and improve upon it. Since then, there have been a lot of popular script builders, like Void Script Builder and Anti-Script Builder. Unobtainable limiteds. There's a small number of limiteds that nobody owns anymore, which are nicknamed unattainables. Some of these are unattainable from the start, as they likely somehow broke when being uploaded to the catalog. Some were even uploaded during the 2012 April Fool's incident, although those who purchased them had them wiped from their inventory. On December 20th, 2015, some users abused the purchasing API to buy some of these limiteds for free, but this was fixed shortly after, and the hats were removed from the users' inventories. The term can also refer to limiteds that have their own account dwindle over time due to them getting terminated, making them unattainable. Back when Roblox was released on the iPad, there was a promotion where limiteds called Roblox tablets were sold for various prices ranging from 1 million Robux to a measly 1 Robux. The Roblox tablets bought out by the users Hiccup789, Dark886, and Enya7 are unattainable, as the users who had them have been terminated. Those users are Bad Decisions 2, King Andrew K, and Undem respectively. Some hats are almost unattainable, such as the Lady of the Federation, which only sold 10 copies with only 1 copy in circulation. Or Telemon Hair, which only sold 34 copies, but most of its owners have been terminated, leaving only 12 copies remaining. Mannequin Blocky and Mr. Crash. Mannequin Blocky is a bundle that was uploaded to the catalog on July 30th, 2019. It's currently unobtainable, but it was given to a few select administrators and test accounts. The bundle is shown as the avatar that plays emotes on a catalog. Before Mannequin Blocky, another bundle was used, called Mr. Crash, uploaded on June 20th, 2019. It's also unobtainable, and was also only given to administrators and test accounts. Ghosts. Many users have claimed to see ghosts in Roblox games. For example, in the game The Streets, players have encountered white transparent figures roaming around the map that randomly disappear. However, these aren't actual ghosts, as they're implemented into the game by the game creator. There was a myth that spoke of a ghost working in the Roblox World Headquarters game, which would kill all the NPCs in the game. There are also rumors that a ghost supposedly lives in the abandoned tower, and because of its killings, a hospital was built. The same thing is said to happen in Shuletsky's Haunted Mansion game, where the scarecrow would die, and doors would close and open by themselves, but that can be attributed to Roblox physics. Roblox YouTuber Sharkbox played the game in 2012, and apparently caught something in the game, depicted as a white fog. However, this could have been fabricated for that video, and there have been multiple alleged ghost sightings in other Roblox games, but none of them have actually been real, like the ones listed here.
/E3. This is a type of spam that occurred in the comments of anything that cost Robux like clothing or accessories. It was supposed to trick others into thinking that they got the item for free, even though that wasn't the case. This type of spam became widely hated among the Roblox community, as it was present in the comment section of every item. There were other variations of this spam as well, such as /E-claim. The spam doesn't make sense either, as /E stands for emote, meaning you will be typing /emote free. It's likely that this type of spam, along with countless other types, contributed to Roblox removing comments under catalog and library items in April of 2024. ? I love you. The Adonis admin loader is a popular admin command system used in many Roblox games. It contains an Easter egg in the form of hidden commands, those being "I love you", "always watching", and "always near". When one of the three commands is entered into the chat, a clown jumpscare appears on the screen, which stays until you reset your character. This Easter egg has been featured in the Adonis admin commands since September of 2015. It was first properly documented on November 9th of 2015. Players have known about this Easter egg for a long time, but it was mostly forgotten about. That was until a video from April of 2021 by the YouTuber Oddheader brought it back into the spotlight, which some gaming outlets later reported on. The person behind the Adonis admin commands, Celeratis, later commented on an r/creepygaming Reddit post, where he further explained the Easter egg. It was first added all the way back in 2015 and was specifically intended to be a little Easter egg. To be clear though, I don't know the actual origin or the original creator of the GIF itself, as when I added it I was just looking for spooky clown GIFs on Google Images. I chose it because I wanted to have a weird clown themed spooky thing going on, which includes commands you also might have seen like kidnap, in which clowns roll up in a van and yoink you off to a place a friend made. He also linked to the source of the clown video, which was uploaded all the way back in 2006. Roblox FPS Unlocker. Originally, Roblox was capped to a maximum of 60 FPS. This prompted the user Austin on GitHub to create the Roblox FPS Unlocker, an external open source program that allowed you to unlock the Roblox FPS cap to go over the regular 60 FPS. It had settings for unlocking the FPS cap on the Roblox player and Roblox Studio, and users could set the FPS cap to whatever they wanted. Around June 21st of 2018, there were reports of Roblox banning people who used the program, likely due to Roblox assuming that it was an exploit. On August 11th of 2019, at the 2019 Roblox Developers Conference, the Vice President of Engineering, Adam Miller, made a personal guarantee that you wouldn't be banned from Roblox if you were to use the program. It was also revealed that support for higher FPS would be implemented in 2020, but it took until May 30th of 2024 to be fully released to everyone. Because there's now an official way to change your FPS, the Roblox FPS Unlocker no longer receives updates. Contests. Contests were frequent competitions that were released sometime in 2005. These involved a simple objective, such as in the contest Steer the Spheres, where you had to use spinners and barriers to put a ball into the goal. These contests were removed when Roblox shifted its focus to being a multiplayer game. Contests were brought back in 2007 and announced through blog posts, starting with the Homestead Furniture Making Contest. These were very different as they usually involved building or video and image editing. These continued until 2010 when they got their own page and were strictly dedicated to creating games according to the contest's theme. The community was more involved in these as they could vote between two random games that were entered into the contests. If they chose the more popular game, they'd gain voting accuracy and lose it if they chose the less popular game. If they played the games beforehand, they'd gain more voting accuracy than if they didn't. They could also skip voting on the games, which would lose them 1% of their voting accuracy. Each of these contests awarded hats to players depending on how many players visited their games, how high their game's rating was based on votes, and their voting accuracy. These contests happened very frequently, although they lasted a short time of 2 years, during which 51 of them were held. After this, these types of contests were discontinued. Since then, Roblox has occasionally held a couple of contests related to art, designing avatars, and video and image editing. Stamper Tool. The Stamper Tool was a tool that simplified building by allowing you to place predefined parts. It was first introduced in December of 2010 and used in the game Welcome to Roblox Building, released at the same time. The tool had several collections of parts that you could build with, along with additional tools that allowed you to configure the properties of certain parts and even use wiring to connect levers or buttons to logic gates. All of the parts used by the Stamper tool were stored as models on the website, which were bundled together using sets, a now removed feature, and inserted into the game by the client. It's unknown when, but probably in January of 2017, the stamper tool broke due to Roblox updates. Later on, the function to insert models into the game by the client was disabled on September 19th of 2017, further breaking it. Many of the games that relied on the stamper tool broke as well, such as the aforementioned Welcome to Roblox Building and games like Build to Survive the Zombies. Clone Trooper 1019 created a remake of the Welcome to Roblox Building game, which has since surpassed the original in visits. Legacy Terrain. Legacy terrain, also known as voxel or old terrain, was a feature that allowed you to create a landscape out of voxels, which are basically simple shapes like cubes or ramps. It integrated seamlessly with regular building parts, and you could have millions of them without suffering any lag or performance issues. It was first announced at the 2011 Roblox Rally and fully released on October 7th of 2011. It had many tools that allowed you to modify the terrain as you wished, along with a terrain generator. When it was first released, it only supported grass and sand materials, but later it was expanded to a total of 16 materials. These materials were added to the stamper tool as well. On June 5th of 2012, water was added as another material type to terrain, which added water and buoyancy physics to the client. On June 1st of 2015, Smooth Terrain was released, which is higher quality and more realistic than the previous terrain. Users were able to convert from voxel terrain to smooth terrain, allowing access to new tools only for smooth terrain, such as selecting parts of the terrain and duplicating the selection. On August 19th of 2016, it was announced on the dev forums that voxel terrain is deprecated and will be removed on January 1st of 2017. Giving developers plenty of time to update their games. After its removal, voxel terrain was forcibly converted to smooth terrain on every game. Because the conversion wasn't perfect and smooth terrain didn't have every material type that voxel terrain did, this meant that some games looked worse as a result. Personal servers. Personal servers were a type of game where players could build together on voxel terrain using the stamper tool and its additional tools. They had an autosave feature, so everything that was built stayed on the personal server. They were announced at the 2011 Roblox Rally and fully released on November 2nd of 2011. Personal servers could have only been created by users with Builders Club, but anyone could have joined them. Only one personal server could have been running at a time. They had a permission system, where the owner could restrict visiting and building permissions to specific players, and allow others to promote or demote others. The owner could do this either through the website or in-game. Personal servers were used for a variety of activities other than building, such as role-playing, hosting tournaments, and playing minigames. They also had a big issue with griefing, mainly in those that handed out building permissions too freely. Griefers usually used explosives to blow the terrain up or flood the entire game with water. On April 13th of 2016, Roblox introduced Team Create, a feature in Roblox Studio that allows you to work on Roblox games with people you give access to. Because of this new feature and that personal servers were no longer used as much, Roblox also announced that the creation of personal servers will be disabled and that they will later be converted to regular games, which was done on June 8th. Those who wanted to continue their personal server builds could have used build mode before that was removed as well. After voxel terrain was replaced with smooth terrain, many of the builds created in personal servers were ruined. Build mode. Build mode was a feature that allowed players to build their game as they were playing it using the stamper tool, instead of creating it in Roblox Studio. It was likely added around the same time as the stamper tool. Players used this mode as a fast and easy way to create games without scripts and free models, which it was criticized for. On October 28th of 2016, build mode was discontinued as Roblox couldn't support it anymore without compromising new features and tools for Studio. Even though build mode was heavily criticized, there were still those who wanted it back as it was more intuitive for them. Mega Places. Mega Places were games that could hold up to 50 players at once. They were first announced at the 2011 Roblox Rally and fully released on August 11th of 2011, after several periods of testing on Roblox's testing sites. While 50 players don't sound like much, the maximum number for regular games at the time was only 20. They could only be created by users with Builders Club, as the servers for these games required more computing power than regular ones, which had a higher cost for Roblox. They were removed sometime in 2014, and everyone was given the ability to increase the player limit on their games to 50. Since then, the maximum player limit has been increased over 10 times as much. On April 4th of 2019, the maximum player limit was increased to 100 and sometime later to 200. If you opted into the Roblox beta program, the maximum player limit will be 700. And that's the end of the second tier of my Roblox Iceberg. Despite this tier being almost twice as big as the previous, the next tier is even bigger and I can only hope the video isn't going to take as long to create as this one. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you at the third tier of my Roblox Iceberg Explained series. Thanks for watching.